Welcome everyone to Wasted with Wize, episode 34. We want the funk. All right.
I think
So
making up numbers now.
We want the funk.
yeah, I was looking for this. Apparently, George Clinton has collected all that money, and he's not like releasing it and stuff. Like sometimes you can find snippets of that shit everywhere, but apparently I can't find it for some reason. So I tried and it didn't work. You know, I don't know why they're fucking complaining. Like you would think, right? I understand they're trying to make money, but like we would use like a 10-second snippet. Why in the fuck do they care? You know, I still don't understand that.
Well, make good money.
Yeah, but 10 fucking seconds? Like, seriously, dude? Come on, seriously.
Oh, man, George Clinton and the Parliament Funk aren't actually releasing anything lately, so they're like, fucking give me them royalties, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know, you can make your own 10-second clip, dude. They're not going to come after you for it, most likely.
Yeah, but that's like too much like work, man. I'm like, who the fuck wants to deal with that shit? Like, it's not like I'm getting paid for it.
If you would have told me, you wanted a quick clip of an echo, because I hear an echo really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god,
Yeah, there's an echo. Hold on.
Is that me? Could be me.
Might be because you just jumped in. Yeah,
Whose pussy is open?
I don't know.
Okay, is it better? Say something cerebral.
I think
Something cerebral.
Apple.
Well, fucking yeah. I barely want to hear you speak once. I definitely don't want to hear you speak twice and 3 times in a row in the same situation. So yeah.
Fuck you, teacher boy. Okay.
Oh, go fuck yourself.
No, guys,
All right, so let's go ahead and get started because by the time we're done with our introductions, the show will be over. So yeah, we need to go ahead and start doing that. Let me go ahead and start off with my panelist. Cerebral, how you been doing? How was your week and what you been playing?
Doing okay. Week was okay. Really not a great week. You know, my kind of fighting that depression thing, but no big deal. Anyway,
I am waiting for that one fucking week where I say, "How's your week been going?" You're like, "Dude, everything's been great. I got laid. I got drunk. Not necessarily in that order, but
the only time you're gonna see all that is just for you. I'll have that carved on my tombstone. Okay, so you
I feel fantastic. I murdered 3 people today.
Your tombstone pizza or what?
No.
Skinned them, made a couple lampshades. I'm feeling fantastic.
Anyway.
Shit, dude, do you actually think somebody's gonna pay for a fucking stone to put on top of your fucking your buried ass? Nobody wants to spend that much money. They're gonna cremate you and sprinkle you
bullshit.
down the toilet.
I will donate money so that his fucking tombstone has spinner rims.
Yeah. I've always said I always wanted to say just simply told you I was sick. That's all. That's it.
See, y'all didn't listen to me. This is your fault.
Risket is like, what the fuck did I just walk into? You know? But,
no, Brisket's been on a show with me before.
Oh, okay, cool.
I believe, at least he's been in chats with me. He knows I'm twisted.
No, chat. You in a chat is not the same as you on a show. You on a show is like, I don't know. It's weird. It's like it's hard to describe. It's hard to pinpoint like how you change when you go from chat cerebral to show.
Bullshit. I am no different.
He's kind in the chat. He's such a caring and compassionate individual.
He sounds like learned. He like actually sounds educated in the chat, and then you see him in real life, and you're like, "What the fuck was this? Is this the same person?"
Whoa, dude, no, don't even go there.
He emerges from his fuckstick cocoon.
Or is he like that girl who got? Or is he like that girl with the 2 heads that got engaged this week or something? You know,
interact directly and talk to you. That's what pisses him off. So there you go. You're the fault. It's your fault, buddy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just in case my wife doesn't blame me enough for some shit. Thank you.
Anyway, trying to get through my intro. I'm playing Dragon's Dogma 2.
Nobody gives a fuck about what you've been playing. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Thanks, Wize.
Dragon's Dogma 2. I am level 37. I'm kicking ass, enjoying the game. It was a little rough start, but once I started to understand how it worked and stuff like that, yeah, I like it.
You're fucking kidding me. 37?
Yeah,
he's level 37. Yeah.
All right. So as you guys know, I'm a math teacher, or mathematician by trade. There's this website or video on YouTube called a person called Versatium or something like that. He's a mathematician. And I was watching one of his latest episodes, and he was talking about how when you ask somebody, give me a random number, it's not that random. Usually the number 73 or 37 shows up in equal tendency. Like people don't usually pick an even number when you ask them to pick a random number. And they say like the number 37 shows up quite a bit over and over again. So it's kind of ironic you just said 37.
That sounds like a really boring video.
Oh shit, man! Like my life, dude. I decided. Look, I'm spending Friday night talking to your
really
fucking
gay
house.
Fibonacci sequence.
Yeah.
I'm choosing to. I'm choosing to spend my Friday night to speak with your drunk ass. Okay, come on now. I got a wife who wants to get laid, and I'm choosing to spend my time with you guys. So
she may want to get laid, just not with you. Okay, there's the difference.
Well, she still wants to get laid. I want to watch. That's all I got to say. I
mean, she wants to. She just don't want you there.
I mean, yeah, that's the problem. I mean, that's okay. I can put a camera there. It's okay. No big deal.
You can't get the camera you have to work. So.
Yeah. Can't even get a sneak one in there, can you? Come on. These are security cameras, honey. No, they're for outside the house. Don't
Stop buying nanny cams from Vietnam, you cheap fuck.
From Temu, that's where it's coming from. No wonder those little shits ain't working.
You mean with all kind of security holes in the sons of bitches? You're fucking.
I want to be. I want to be that guy. We start the show like, hey, we're running late. Let's get this started. And now we're talking about Temu Vault. It's like, what the fuck happened?
You got to be that fucking guy, don't you? Anyways,
important things. Okay, Nova next. Come on.
Yeah, Nova, you're next. How was your week and what you been playing, dude?
It's good. I've been playing Rise of the Ronin. I'm pretty sure I'm almost done with it. I've completed the first 2 maps, like 100% of them. There's multiple maps. I didn't know this when I first started the game. There's multiple maps in the game. Like you'll move to whole new areas, and it's like a whole nother fucking map, which is kind of cool. Yeah, no, it's cool. I mean, it's not a perfect game. It's got its good things and bad things, but overall, I'm really enjoying it. And then I played the Stellar Yams demo.
That's what we want to know about. How was Stellar Yams?
Oh, it was yammerific. No, it's all right. It's the combat is a lot slower and heavier than I thought it would be. Like I thought she would be really like nimble and quick on her feet.
Like Bayonetta and Nier.
Yeah, something like that, or even like a Devil May Cry. There's definitely a lot.
I like the look of it, man. It actually looked better than I thought. I want that light, floaty bullshit combat that we saw in what was that?
State of Play or the standalone?
Terrible place.
Play terrible.
Yeah, I didn't want to see that Forspoken bullshit. So yeah, it sounds good.
Oh yeah, no, it's nothing like that. But it's just
nobody wants to see that.
There's a slowness to it. Yeah, fucking nice. I played the demo for that game and I was like, this game fucking blows.
Oh yeah,
so I skipped that shit.
So we want to know how many times.
Character, huh?
We're trying to go a little bit out of order, but Risky, we want to know how many times have you masturbated to her so far?
Oh no.
To what?
How many times have you masturbated to her? That's all we want to know. That's inquiring minds want to know.
That's all he wants to know.
That's all
I
he
really
wants
don't
to
care.
know. I don't don't.
I want to know if it matches to the number of times I've done it. That's all I want to know.
He just wants to know if you say. He wants to hear you say 37 or 73.
All you need to know is that he went back to the skin armor, even though it drops the armor rating by 2 stars.
I didn't even know there was a demo. So.
Hey.
Risky is probably like, yeah.
Just wait. When that post nut clarity hits, you'll realize the demos was there.
Oh no, this is.
So what is this demo free or what?
Well, as I famously say, I've expended everything on Pornhub as it is, and I just don't have anything more to watch. So I need something else. That's why Stellar Blade came or Stellar Ass came right in a pinch.
You don't
so
let
I'm
your
happy
children
about that.
sit in that room, right? You bastard. Ugh.
Children? What children?
Never mind.
These days, these children could teach us a thing or two. Okay, whenever I go and talk to whenever I have the talk with my kids, I go and take my notebook and take notes. That's all I got to say. So.
What we were talking about, and you jumped to that, buddy. All I gotta say is, anyway. Next,
Praxis, you're next. How's your week been going? What you been doing? What you been playing?
Going pretty good. I've been playing Dragon's Dogma 2. I'm not up there. Dragon's Dogma 2. I've been playing that game. You can tell it's been rotting my fucking brain. I've been doing pretty good, but Paul obviously he was using my pawn. It was like it's too weak. I'm like, okay, well I gotta build up a little better. So, but I've been enjoying it. it is. I was talking to somebody. I would call it like a flawed masterpiece. It's really good and enjoyable to play. It's got a lot to lure you in, but it has a lot of technical issues that it's struggling with, especially on like the Series X and PS5. Which I guess there was a patch that was just released today, I think, but only on Steam and PS5. The Xbox One doesn't come out for another day or two. So.
Really? I don't know that the
What
Xbox
technical
One was
issues?
on.
I haven't noticed any issues that have.
Jesus Christ, you haven't noticed issues?
No.
Are you playing Series X?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. And I'm in town and I get sub 20 frames per second everywhere.
Jeez.
If I'm
I'm
playing,
not having that problem at all. I'm not having that.
dude.
problem
What
at all.
so if I'm playing like a large monster and it's one of those quests where you have like a whole group of 4 that joins your group.
Yeah.
It fucking slows down to slow motion. I can barely. It like goes crazy. It goes fucking crazy.
I haven't seen that at all.
Oh, dude, it's all the time since I've started the whole game.
Ah, you can
He's
go,
being sarcastic.
dude. I streamed this for. No, I'm not. I streamed it for
I mean,
5 hours the other day.
What resolution are you running it at? Is it 4K?
Let me see.
I don't think can you even change.
No,
the
because I
resolution?
stream.
Well,
Because
no,
I
you
stream,
can
I
change,
might not be
you can
running
change
it
the
at
system
4K.
resolution, but it's still trying to put it out at whatever maximum resolution the game is supposed to run at. Which I
Oh,
don't
let me
think it's
see.
going to help anything. It may not help. I was thinking the same thing. I'll just run it at lower resolution, but it won't do it because the game runs at whatever resolution it runs at. It doesn't take your system's output
No,
resolution.
I'm doing cheap. I'm doing 1080p 120 megahertz.
Well, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I know that it's optimized. I know I'm not the only person that's running this problem. There's a bunch of people been complaining about it, and dude, I don't know how it's not doing it for you.
Yeah, the worst thing for me is just the fact that it's at 30. So I'm just like, this is terrible either way.
It's
But
way
it's
below
doable.
30. When it goes into when I'm running across the center of town to go from my house to where all of the armor shops and the weapon shops are, it immediately dips down to below 20 frames per second. And if I go
just for
to the
fun
bar,
now, I'm gonna
if I go to the bar, it goes
I'm
to
gonna switch to
15, it
4K.
dips way down.
Just for fun, now, I'm gonna switch to 4K and see what happens.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. I was like, what the
Series
fuck
X
is
just
going on?
implodes.
Well, no, and PS5
The PlayStation 5 does its best. The PlayStation 4 rendition and takes
no,
the
it
fuck
doesn't.
off.
Those are some of the patches they had for all 3 platforms, actually. So
So how many NPCs have you sacrificed in the quest of making your FPS a little bit faster?
None. No, because it actually causes you problems in the game. It's a thing. You have ramifications for things that you do.
So it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? What you saying? Like in real life, I could kill this bastard and I'll be happier because my life will be a lot smoother. But if I leave him around, I might need him later on. So yeah, let's just.
There's a thing.
I will wait for the consoles to implode and create a black hole.
okay,
There's a
so now I'm
Yes.
running 4K 60. Let's see.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely. It feels slower. Definitely does that.
Well, you know what? I don't want to be that guy to quote Triple, but you know what? I think everyone needs to just calm down because PlayStation has the answer. It's called the PS5 Pro. Everyone should buy it, and the Dragon Dogma 2
shut
will
the
run fine.
fuck up.
Oh Jesus!
Oh,
Christ.
shut up! That bitch is. I mean, that hunk of junk is not even confirmed by Sony yet.
No. It's totally coming. But here's the thing.
Yeah,
If,
I know.
If the specs are
But
correct,
it's not going to be that
pretty
much of a
sure-
better improvement. It's
Well,
not
no.
going to be.
The game is CPU bound anyway. It's not going to do a goddamn thing to fix it. So it won't even help it.
Well, that and also CPU is going to limit whatever GPU they put in it.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
Well, the whole thing about all the calculations that it's doing for the characters in like if you go into town, it's CPU based calculations. So if your CPU is required to do it and it hasn't gone any better than a Series X, it's going to have the same fucking problem. So that's the issue.
Okay, so we have to wait for the Switch 2. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, but aren't they supposedly implementing some type of machine learning or some shit in the Pro supposedly, which could help?
Yeah.
I honestly I don't understand any of that fucking shit, to be honest.
Hey, Wize.
I would assume it still won't.
Here, take a look at the camera.
Uh-oh.
I got the prototype Switch 2.
Oh, you got the prototype. He's holding a Steam Deck for those of y'all
Yes.
listening.
Steam Deck.
Substandard.
All right. Speaking of which, Jim, how you doing this week, sir? What you been playing? What you been doing? Etc.
Well, aside from getting done dirty by my job, I'm doing fine.
What, you got dumped by your job already?
Yes.
Don't you own the company? How aren't you like a partner in that development house? How can you get fired
No,
from the development?
No, not that
Because
job.
you're partners, I mean, you can
Yeah, the
jerk
job that
off
I
in the
had.
middle of the office.
Yeah.
No, I had a second job. I'm pretty sure I told you about that one. But yeah, they dumped me just days before I was about to be on the union.
Oh,
that's
wow.
lovely. Isn't that great?
Yeah, it was the greatest middle finger. It was like, you assholes.
Was it within the 90 days they dumped you? Is that what it was?
Yes. Yeah.
Yep, that happened.
So, and then they were, and based on everybody, telling me that particular company tends to do that quite often to people.
So
a lot do.
So tell me you at least smeared some shit before you left. That's all I gotta say.
Rotten Limburger.
Oh, I'm gonna be calling them on their bluff of, we can't transfer you to any other departments because we have nothing available. Because I checked on their website, they've got at least 5 positions still listed as being open and available to fill.
Who'd you piss off? What you do?
Told you, man. He ran to the office yelling, skeet, 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 skeet.
I'm just painting the wall.
So, I'm just gonna print all that out and just go to them. Yeah. Oh, I will. So I'm gonna print that paper out and call them on their bluff and see what they say.
Oh, cool. Cool. Let us know how it happened, what transpires next week, because I'm kind of fascinated to see what happened, what type of shit.
Let us know if we're going to see you on the evening news. Okay, that's all
No. But
did you work for the? Are you working for the Bridge Authority in Baltimore? Were you the reason that fucking ship crashed into the bridge?
I can't confirm or deny that I accidentally sent wrong navigational information into the ship's computer.
I didn't hack it. No, I didn't.
I completely forgot that.
No, also I swear, I stunk not.
Totally trying to drive the boat with my dick.
What ship? I don't know.
Watches as the whole thing goes 6. Watches as the whole ship just goes fireball supernova.
All right. Next, Triple, how you been doing? How's your week been going, and what you been playing?
Doing pretty well. Playing Destiny as usual. Though I was playing some Dragon's Dogma earlier, and I too got the pawn saying, "Hey, Dragon Rot or Dragon Play, whatever it is."
You got crotch right there.
You got it. I am not using your pawn,
I'm
asshole.
thinking Sekiro, Dragon Rot, Sekiro.
Nowhere near your pawn, man.
It's
your pawn got fucking Dragon's Dogma herp alert. What the fuck?
Herp alert? Probably. I don't know. I don't know how they get it.
Actually, if you got the pop up, you got it, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, somebody's getting thrown off the cliff there, because I was talking to a friend about that. I was like, yeah, I'm throwing people off the cliff at that point. But they're supposed to give you signs like they start to speak back or ignore your
they will, but if you wait till that long and the eyes turn red, but if you wait that long, you might be screwed. So.
Yeah, you look at their eyes, and they start like holding their head like they're in pain.
Yeah,
like
the burn.
Oh my God,
the burn.
Touch is burning. Yeah, then you know it's a problem. Right?
That's what we were talking about before we went live. As soon as I get that notice, my guy's going in the river.
You're going through.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, my pawn died a few times. We were like adventuring near the water. She just fell. I was like, how the fuck you fall into the water? What are you doing?
Paul just going with a fucking iron fist. He goes, "You symptomatic? You
Paul,
fuck."
let me ask you a question. When that scene in Old Yeller came on, did you start laughing? Was that what happened?
That's what
I loaded the gun. I loaded the gun, baby. It was, baby gotta go. Yeah.
I got an incurable disease. All right, let's go ahead and put.
My name is Euthanasia. I am your friend.
That's what I should have called my fucking pawn. Jesus Christ.
You just call him Euthanasia.
That'd be great.
There we go. New build, new pawn. It called Euthanasia.
Oh my gosh. But
Captain Euthanasia.
Game's great. I will say that the microtransactions haven't ruined the experience for me yet. I'm playing the Archer class that has been jump kicking off of enemies. Just enjoying that. You're
one doing thing your best Legolas impersonation, basically. That's what you're saying? Okay. Cool.
The most annoying thing is I was fighting the Minotaur, and like the game has auto aim, so you can't really like aim unless you like manually aim. So I'm over shooting this Minotaur using my dire shot, which is like a charged arrow. And next time I sniped this random pig in the far distance. I'm like, bro, I got a Minotaur charging at me. Why am I shooting the pig of all things? So, but we managed to win. It was fun, and yeah.
You can manually aim, by the way. You just have to use your special abilities.
Yeah, I know. It's just if they have a targeting system, I kind of wish it was like Elden Ring or Dark Souls, where you can actually target what you want in the game. This doesn't assume what you want.
Yeah, but if your game has instant targeting, that means your game sucks.
I don't think that.
I wish you. I do wish
because it's got me in trouble. I had like a harpy attacking me and a goblin at the same time, and I think the goblin was about to die, but he kept shooting at the harpy and said, "Like, no, the goblin." I was like, "Yeah, I could have manually aimed, but I was just like, bro, this is so stupid. I'm just not going to just acknowledge that this is very dumb." But I managed to win. You know, it was cool.
I like the direct the team thing, but I do admit that it's like it's a little too random. It's like direct the team there, and they're like, "Oh yeah," and they start fighting you're like, "Dude, no, right there. It don't you can't."
Yeah, it is.
Going on everywhere. Like, shit.
Yeah, I've maxed out Archer and I've maxed out Thief on this character because I'm going through all of them. Beating
Did you buy the house? According to RPG88 asked, did you buy the house yet, Paul?
Yep. I actually have 2 houses. I have 2 houses.
Nice. Question for you guys: has anyone ran into a situation where you step out of the city, you feel like a young, fresh adventure, ready to experience life, and then 2 griffins pop up and start fucking shit up? You just like,
yeah, pretty much.
Are you talking about the game or in real life?
In the game.
Oh, okay.
Like I stepped out. I see a griffin right outside the gates. It starts attacking me, and I see another griffin in the distance flying, and I was just like, and I'm doing like,
let the adventure begin.
No, actually, right before the show went live, I woke up, walked out the door. There was a dragon attacking the town. I went, "Well, this is going to be one of those."
Go back to fucking bed.
Yeah, I saw that. Somebody had a clip on where this dragon landed in the middle of town. Well, no, he chased. Yeah. The dragon was chasing this guy. Yeah, he had already got his pawns decimated by that dragon, so he went into the city thinking that everyone's going to help him destroy that dragon. That's not exactly what happened.
No, they run like hell, dude.
Yeah.
Everybody wake up and grab your shit. We need to get the fuck out of here.
I mean, that's actually a tell that there's an attack going on. You'll be talking to a vendor, and all of a sudden his ass will run away.
No, my brother, his session, was it a troll show up in town and everybody started ganging up on us?
It would be really
man.
In the middle of buying
by the way, you archers, I will warn you. I will warn the archers, if you're fighting in town, even if it's a creature, and you actually hit one of the townspeople, they will turn.
Oh no! It's now I gotta believe in the freaking auto aim system. I don't. Yeah.
I was running in town. There was a troll came into town. I was walking out. I'm like, oh fuck, a troll! So I start knocking against it, and like 2 or 3 guys are next to me, and I take a big sweeping swing, and they fucking start hitting me. I'm like, you assholes!
Bro,
what the fuck you being friendly fire? This is ain't Abu Grave.
In the Elder Scrolls Oblivion, the first fucking like major city you go into, I walked in there and I just happened to kill a chicken. Like it's just a fucking random chicken, didn't know it belonged to anybody, and the town went apeshit. And the AI in that game, they chase you till the end of the fucking earth. I kept running, and they just don't stop. I went outside and it loaded outside the town. I'm like, all right, good, I'm good. No, dude, also just started loading.
You violated the law.
That's exactly what happened to me. Like, okay, Oblivion was the first Elder Scrolls game I played, and before that I played JRPGs, and in JRPGs, if it was in a chest, if it was just randomly in a pot, you just took it, right? Basically. Mm-hmm. And so I started in Oblivion, and I came outside of the sewers, and I went into the first little house that I saw. And I went in there, and there was nobody there, obviously. And there was like apples and plates and everything. I'm just collecting everything,
Okay, if it's red, don't collect it. Okay.
Well, I thought it was collecting it. That's what I thought I was doing.
There's a house in Skyrim where I kill. It was like a vampire or a necromancer. I kill him. And so I'm like, okay, he was the owner of the house. The house is titled after him on the map. And I start looking around at his stuff like, you're stealing. I'm like, he's dead. What you mean? He's dead. No, you're still stealing. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm not touching that then.
No, I mean, like, yeah. So I went into I went into the main capital city. I forgot the name of the fucking city called Tamariel, or I don't know.
Well, Tamariel's the planet, but
what was
it? Imperial City or some shit.
Imperial City or some shit.
I think Cyrodiil's the continent it takes place in, but
well, I walked in and everyone started fucking attacking me. Like, I don't know. Like, dude, I only took a fucking apple. How the hell do y'all know that damn house was outside? You know, so I'm like, what the fuck, you know? So,
Oi, fruit thief! Stay where you are.
That's what I like about Dragon's Dogma. Like, I just walk into people's houses, like, ooh, I take that. I take that. There's a chest behind you. I take that. They don't say anything.
They don't care. It's hilarious.
That's what I do in Skyrim too. Just put buckets over their fucking heads.
There is one exception. If you're down in the dungeon and you're either going in to go talk to the guy or you're trying to sneak out, don't pick up anything then, because the guards will go ape shit.
They'll go ape shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was in Dragon's Dogma, there's a town. I'll say this, and we get to risk it. I swear to God, risk it. I swear. You go to Checkpoint Town. When you go to Checkpoint Town,
Checkpoint Town.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the fucking dumbest
That's
name.
actually what it's called. It's what it's called.
It's literally Town Checkpoint. It's like, you can't come up with another fucking name. Anyway, it's really bad. So you get there, and the top of the hill,
Fast Travel Avenue.
top of the hill, there's a wizard's house, right? And you go into the house, and you walk up to the front door, and the guy's a total asshole. He's like, "Fuck off! I didn't invite you here," and closes the door and leaves. And then
I just talked to him a minute ago. He's still an asshole.
Yeah, no. So what you're supposed to do is you sneak around the back, climb up the fucking window, get in his window, and then go up or go in the side window, sneak in the house, and then you fucking like rob him. I walked in every room and took every fucking thing he had, and then I and I was like, thinking the same thing. Like, I'll walk out the front door. Fuck him. Who cares? He's just like everybody else. Oh no, he's a fucking wizard. He starts fighting me in his fucking house. But
there was a time I thought to preserve your measly planet, but now you will witness its dismemberment.
I'm just thinking of a picture of a wizard pulling out a shotgun from his hat or something.
I beat him to death in his front fucking foyer. I fucking kill him, and he's laying there, and then it tells me, it's like, do you really want to do this? Why don't you bring him back to life? I was like, well, fuck it. I want to see what happens. I bring him back to life. He gets in there and he says exactly what he said to me when I came to his front door for the first time. You're not allowed in here. And he kicks me out. I was like,
you should stay dead.
Yeah. Well, I brought it back to life.
Like, my first decision was the right one.
Yeah,
and let's get to our guest. We got some more panelists coming in after the pre-show to our show is their pre-show to our show is over. I'm just kidding. Don't tell Luck I said that. He's gonna kill me.
We say that every week.
I know, but now he has P Diddy in his stable, so I'm kind of scared.
Local Texas Ranger.
Yeah. So yeah, Risk It. What's up, my man? How you been doing? Tell us what you've been playing, and tell us basically what you've been drinking and how's your week been going.
I don't really drink these days.
You don't drink? What the fuck?
How you stay hydrated? I'm stopped.
I don't drink much. I drink a shitload of coffee. That's about it.
You don't drink much, but you do drink.
Oh yeah, it's not like I abstain or anything, but I just busy with kids, gaming, and work. So it's
how can you be busy with kids, gaming, and work and not drink? I mean, those are the three reasons anyone wants to drink.
Possibly.
What have I been playing, man? I just finished Control. I've started that fucking game like 3 times. I started that game, and then I could not gel with that game, man. I couldn't do it. And then this third time I've started it, I'm like, right, I'm going to commit to this fucking game. I'm playing it. I'm going about halfway, not even halfway, like a quarter of the way in, and then I was hooked. I think it just takes a while to get into that game. It's fucking brilliant. And the way that he led in, because if you played Alan Wake 2, it really ties in. And if you've played Alan Wake 2, and then you play Control, a lot of the stuff that's in Control is in Alan Wake 2. So if you're playing it before you played Alan Wake 2, right, you wouldn't sort of notice until maybe after. But because Alan Wake 2 is fresh in my mind, I'm like, oh shit, that happened in Alan Wake 2. And there's a little piece of paper telling me all about like this was going to happen and that was going to happen. There's a little snippet of the map in one of the Alan Wake 2 map in one of the cutscenes. So it's really fucking cool, man. I highly recommend playing Control. Just stick with it, because I know a lot of people had the same sort of thing. They started playing it and then it was just a bit meh. But I think if you stick with it, it's one of those games that rewards you in the end. I got Dragon's Dogma 2, but I saw the performance bullshit. I'm watching some game.
You listen to me?
And I was like,
are you a PC whore? Come on.
It's weird though that I'm not having Like right, I've dropped down to 1440 just because I can 1440 120, and I'm in the middle of a fight right now, and I'm not having any issues. Maybe
yeah, because that's because of your age. You're already seeing all this shit, so that's probably all you could see anyway. So it's okay. So.
No,
but no, go ahead, risk it.
I
So-
run on. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm the last console purist. I swear to God, I'm the only Xbox guy that doesn't have a fucking PC. But I got a.
I don't have a fucking PC. Well, it's an Apple. You don't really consider
I
Apple.
kind of use my
like-
PC
like-
for like if I don't have space, I put it on my PC. Like Starfield with Sega Tour Space, I'll just put it on my PC. I don't need it on my Xbox.
Yeah, 60 frames and all that bullshit. But when I'm at work, I travel with my S, right? Because I got to fly in and fly out. So I had my Series S, downloaded Dragon's Dogma, saw the reviews, and I was like, "Fuck that! I'm gonna stick to control." And
oh yeah, on the S, yeah. I don't know what kind of
1080p.
Yeah.
So what compelled you to what compelled you to go back to Control? The fact that you had a good experience with Alan Wake 2 or what?
Yeah, I think it was Alan Wake 2 a little bit, and then they dropped it in Game Pass, and I was sort of hunting for something to play. You know, you get to that little period where you're like, "Fucking, what am I?" You got a lot of stuff in your backlog, but you're like,
You don't know what to
I
play.
don't feel like playing any of that. And then they dropped it in Game Pass, and I was like, shit, all right, I'm going to give this a go again. I think it was Game Pass and the combination of having Alan Wake 2 playing that recently, which is fucking crazy good. Have you guys played that?
Alan Wake 2? Heck yeah.
I
played a little bit
I'm
of it, not
Alan
too
Wake
much of it,
10,
though.
but I love Control. I played Control twice.
Oh, fucking Alan Wake 2 was amazing, though. That's absolutely so good. The music, I think it's, if you haven't played it yet, it's your own fault. So the spoilers.
Well, I mean, you know,
The music scene in that is like
I
a
just-
music. You know the music sequence in Control where like you're running through the ashtray maze where it's like
yeah,
and it's playing heavy metal. It's the Old Gods of Asgard is the band actually. Well, you've got a similar. It's not similar, but you've got a similar sequence in Alan Wake 2 that just takes that shit to like level fucking 10. Like it's so good.
Nice.
I fucking loved it, man. A lot of people didn't like it. It didn't sell. It didn't sell very well, right? So I think they took more of a hit on Alan Wake 2 than they did on Control, which is
Really?
a shame because I think he is, and I don't like Kojima, but I can recognize that there is a bit of genius in Kojima, even though he's a weirdo. I think there's
Yeah.
a bit of genius in Sam Lake, right? I
don't know what Loki you say
that,
that.
that guy does like, like behind closed doors. I don't want to like fucking legs over his head, thumb up his butt, jacking. Anyway, like
wow. There's an image we needed. There we go.
Well,
I
he fits
did-
right
I
on
did-
in with us. So, so there we go. Go ahead. Keep going.
but I think Sam Lake's got a bit of that genius in him, right? A little bit of that weirdness in him, enough to just like the way he's linked everything together and his storytelling and how fucked up it is. Like you never come out of one of his games knowing exactly what the fuck happened. You've always got to be looking at it like, oh, are they still in this fucking weird dream? Are they stuck in this thing? Like, are they like, where's this going? You want to play the next one, right? Because you're hoping that eventually he like wraps it up for you. That's what I'm hoping eventually. Because what has he got coming down the pipe? He's got Control 2, Garen. We know about that. He's got Max Payne coming. So those two are supposed to be tied into this whole thing that he's doing.
Are you
And then
sure
I'm
about Control 2?
expecting-
I mean,
Yeah. Control 2 is it's in early pre-production.
okay.
Or early production. Yeah, so that game would probably be about 3 years out from the sounds of it. But I'm hoping, obviously, for an Alan Wake 3, and I hope that wraps up the series because if I got to go through 4 games instead of 3 games to figure out what the hell's going on, I'm going to be disappointed. Take some acid and play that game. It would be fucking interesting.
Well, or an edible, right? One of the two.
I just fall asleep if I took an edible. See, that's shit. I mean, I actually toyed with going down to because when I went to FanFest on the corner down the bottom, and I think it's illegal for aliens like me to go down and buy weed in America, but like you guys can do it because I was in LA. But
Right.
but I was
America!
like,
There you
it was a corner store, man, and it was like one of those weed shops, and I was like, fuck, I kind of need to get down there and just have a look. But I didn't go in because I thought I would end up buying some, and then I would smoke some, and then I would end up like on the streets of LA, just fucked up, up in the middle of Compton, like naked, being shot at. But
It's fine.
That would have been an image. Definitely. That's why you don't buy the smokable ones. You buy the edible ones, and you just go to your apartment or to your hotel room or wherever, a house, and then basically close the door and plug out. Basically.
Can you smoke it in the streets? Is that like a thing?
No, people do smoke it in the streets, but like when you're out on the streets, there's no control for you, no pun intended, but no control in the sense that like you don't know where you're gonna fucking end up. And there have been plenty of nights where I started smoking. This is usually in college, but I started smoking, and the next thing you know, I woke up the next morning with things all over my body, didn't know what the fuck it was, and ended up in places where I'm like, where the fuck am I? So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've all been there. I woke up in a laundromat once, right? It was the weirdest thing. I had a big fucking night, and I must have just found it was warm. It was cold, right? I know Australia is typically hot, right? And everyone thinks of it like a desert, but it does get cold. And it was winter, and I was drinking and getting fucked up. And then this is when I was young, obviously, as well.
Sure.
Anyway, long story short, I woke up in a laundromat in the middle of so there's two bench seats back to back, right? And in the middle of the two bench seats, there's like a raised sort of platform, right? Just, sort of to separate seats. I was sleeping on that raised platform, and I just woke up to like people doing their laundry and shit. And I was like, oh, morning. All right, I'm gonna get home.
Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Just
Yeah, it was one of those very weird nights.
Yeah, I woke up.
About what Kojima does behind closed doors.
Well, I woke up. I woke up in a graveyard next to my ex-girlfriend's dead grandmother's tombstone. So that's a long story.
That's just weird.
Were your pants on?
I can neither confirm nor deny that statement. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, then it gets really strange, right?
Exactly. Neither confirm nor deny that statement.
No more.
I plead the fifth. So anyhow,
apparently you had the fifth that night at least. Yeah.
I had more than a fucking fifth that night. So, but anyhow, so let's go ahead and get started. I know we don't have Risk It on for long because he's got to do his show. So I'm going to go ahead and go into one of the major topics that we were going to be talking about later, actually. So Phil Spencer came on a couple of places and did a couple of interviews. He did one with Kind of Funny Gamecast, and he did another interview regarding the future of Xbox and where he sees things. And I don't have the exact quote pulled up, but he pretty much confirmed that they are working on a handheld without confirming that they were working on a handheld. And, and my personal thinking is, and I said this a lot, I tweeted this as well. I said, it actually makes sense, to be honest with you. Like, I wouldn't mind an Xbox form factor in the form of a handheld. And I think that going forward, that should be like, if you're going to do a 2 SKU option, that would be a better way of doing it. Instead of having a set-top box that's underpowered, have an underpowered or weaker device that is portable that can dock, aka the Switch, and you can have a choice of either having a set-top box that's super powerful to run your games or a weaker variant that's portable that can also be a dockable situation.
You don't have to do that either. You can have a variant that's comparable in power. I won't say more powerful, but you can have a variant that is comparable in power by it being able to dock up with your TV.
A comparable power, comparable to what? The X?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it?
Something more powerful to an X. But I think I was talking to my buddy the other day, and this is what I like. If I had to say what I think may happen in the future, we've heard rumors that the Surface team is the team that's working on their next gen console, which is kind of strange. Maybe their next gen console is like a Steam Deck type thing that docks, because if you think about it, like the Power Crown, having the most powerful console hasn't done anything for them. So why continue to go down that road of chasing the Power Crown? Didn't do anything with the 1X, didn't do anything with the Series X. If you look at the best-selling console right now, currently, it's the Switch. Mm-hmm. So maybe they say, fuck it, fuck this trying to chase. Phil said, we're not going to try to out-console Sony. That's not going to happen. We don't have a good solution. So maybe he's saying, fuck it, we're not going to do that. We're going to do this Steam Deck type thing, portable, native, not streaming like the fucking bullshit Portal, but a native device that You can dock. It'll be more powerful than the current hardware that we have now. But that's what they do going forward, and they just try to tap into this new emerging market of these portable PCs.
Well, that's the rumor too. But like, it all means absolute dick if they can't get fucking games out the door.
True.
Like this is my problem. And oh, there's a birdie. This is my problem with Xbox and Phil Spencer, and just like even one of my really good friends, Ains, who runs Season Gaming. Great site, but he released an article again. We're talking about how exclusives don't move the needle or don't shift consoles. That's just it hasn't been proven. I'm willing to accept it, but you can't show me a graph, one fucking graph that everyone just keeps throwing around. Like, if you want to shift that handheld, if you want to shift consoles, you need to have we don't turn up for fucking features. Like, no one does. Yeah. No one buys a PlayStation for features. No one buys a portable. Like, a portable, yes, it's great. Like, you know, it's got features, you can take it around. But if you don't have games to play on it, what is the point of it? And this is my thing. Like, with people that keep going, exclusives don't matter. They do, and you can't prove they don't. And the biggest proof that we have that they do is look at Nintendo and look at PlayStation. Exactly. No one's staying on Nintendo because of their friends. Like, no one's like,
exclusives matter for Nintendo, but they don't for mostly people buy PlayStation because it's the place to play games. People aren't, there are way more people just buying a PlayStation to play Fortnite than there are buying their exclusives.
Well, they buy it because it says PlayStation.
Yes, they buy it because it's PlayStation.
It just says PlayStation.
They buy it because they can play Fortnite on PlayStation, right? That's absolutely. They can play Fortnite, but when an exclusive comes along, which they know that PlayStation is synonymous with, they'll be able to play it.
That's not true. Or they would have the same level of sales as Nintendo. They would have the same levels of sales as Nintendo if that was true.
PS5 came out a year and a half after the Switch.
So that explained to me how PlayStation is outselling Xbox 10-1. So every
and outpacing PS4.
Because exactly, you just made the argument for me because it's the place to play games because they have the exclusives.
It's not about those exclusives. It's the place to play.
But the sales say that people aren't there for the exclusives.
The sales say people are there to play Fortnite, Call of Duty, and Apex. And
we
whatever.
Also the FTC. We also the FTC reports that told us that people aren't on PlayStation for the exclusives.
I've seen no report that show me.
Look, I think that for these people that say, "Oh, I'm playing PlayStation because that's where the games are," I think it's because of years of saying, "Oh, that's where all these premium games are," right? Supposedly, that's been a narrative for a long time. The PlayStation's where these high tier, big budget, flashy games are. So for these people that are just picking like a or B, maybe they're picking PlayStation because of that also. Otherwise, why not? Why only pick PlayStation just because it plays games? The other one plays games too. Like, there has to be some reason.
It's the brand to play games.
Yeah,
it's
right. But what made it the brand is my point. Like, something created that mind share, and it was the exclusives that did that.
Early on, sure, but in the generation now where everyone's libraries carry forward and their friend lists, etc., like at some point, if you're big into Call of Duty, Fortnite, whatever, you're not. Oh, I need a PS5 so I can play PS5 exclusive.
You sound like Phil Spencer, Triple.
Me? No, so
you cannot prove that Xbox wouldn't sell consoles if it released games because they haven't released a cadence of quality games. So it's simple as that. When we get to the point where Xbox is releasing a quality cadence of games, then you can say to me, yeah, it didn't move the needle and it didn't work. But they haven't done it. So when they do it, we can have that conversation. The other thing is I rolled into both times to buy PlayStation exclusives, and I went into the store. One was Spider-Man 2 and one was God of War. There was a line of people buying PS5s. So tell me why there's a line of people buying PS5s when a new exclusive comes out if they don't sell consoles. Like, I've seen it with my own eyes. Like, it's an inalienable truth.
I'm going to step on that a little bit. Seeing it one location doesn't make it the whole.
Yeah. So one thing I want to say is that, so when I say exclusives, or some people say exclusives don't matter, they're not saying every person that buys a PlayStation doesn't care about exclusives. It's when you're speaking on how many other people who buy the consoles get the exclusives. I got all three consoles for the exclusive. How many people out there are like me? probably not a lot of people. And like Cozy was saying, there's people that just want it for the cost of Fortnites, whatever. And yeah, there's some people that want it for the Spider-Mans and God of War. So when Xbox, now with Xbox, they're in a different position since all their games are on PC now. But they put out games or exclusives. I'm sure it'll move the needle to some extent, but not in a sense that it'll magically overtake Sony. If most people are like, I don't care about this exclusive, I'm fine with this card and whatever.
Rome, you guys are making the argument for Phil Spencer that Rome was built in a day. It wasn't built in a day. PlayStation wasn't built in a day. Nintendo wasn't built in a day.
They also were at different times.
They're talking
about a very different
time,
scene,
but the strategy still works. Here's the thing. It's a simple thing. What do you buy a console for? Games. If the games are better on one console, or you believe or perceive they are better on one console, where do you go? That console. You're not going to stick around for your friends. Fuck your friends. They'll come over if the console's better.
Some people.
Bro, that is actually also not true. That's also not true.
I like Xbox and PlayStation, but both my friends are on Xbox, so like, let me get an Xbox. You know, like if I didn't have anyone connected to Xbox, I probably would have started with a PlayStation. Like,
well, also, some people don't. But you know, it's always
I get where you're coming from. It's like I just want to say real quick, like I'm sure the exclusives will move the needle, but how much is the question? And as you said, time will tell. But I just don't think it'll suddenly swing things heavily in their favor, and that's why they're putting games elsewhere and trying to get all the mobile players out there, etc. Because they know that after a while, even Phil said himself, like people aren't just gonna dump their PlayStation for Xbox. And sure, there will be some people who want an Xbox alongside their PlayStation, but not a lot of people will.
Dude, well, the big thing is
at the same time, they don't have to beat PlayStation. They don't have to beat Nintendo. All they have to do is be profitable and make their shareholders happy. It doesn't matter if they're third place, second place, or first place.
Well, what people don't seem to understand is this. Number one, PlayStation's been around longer than Xbox has in this gaming space. Plus, PlayStation has
by a single generation, dude.
Generations, what, 6, 7 years at least, right? Plus,
it's a long time.
Plus, in that time, they've had a chance to build up. They've name all of the games that you remember from the PlayStation all the way up. You know, you're talking about classics. People are to this day. Jet Moto, Ratchet and Clank, Sly Cooper, all these games, Parappa the Rapper. So
but back then, 3 guys in a fucking Arby's bathroom could develop a game in a week.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, but now what PlayStation did was basically became the Nintendo of Nintendo. Back in the day when it was Nintendo versus Sega, people didn't want to play video games; they wanted to play Nintendo, right? That's what people say. Yeah, I want to play Nintendo. I want to go home and play Nintendo. Now the kids are not saying I want to go home and play Nintendo. They're saying I want to go home and play PlayStation.
About Genesis stomped out Nintendo when the Sega Genesis dropped. It destroyed Nintendo.
Destroyed, I think, is a strong word, but
at the beginning it was leading at the beginning. By the end of the generation, the Super Nintendo pretty much won.
Yeah, it was as strong as a really strong.
It was a really race, I wouldn't say
destroyed. I mean,
I don't think you can use the argument that because PlayStation's been around longer, because in the 360 era, had they continued to produce consoles, it would have been neck and neck, or Xbox would have won. But Xbox stopped producing a consoles, I think it was 2 years before PlayStation did. So they won
Blu-ray.
They backed it up. Xbox came out and just absolutely curb stomped themselves with Xbox One. And at the back end of PlayStation 3, what did they start doing? They started producing the games.
Yeah, you got your Uncharted 2s and your Last of Us and shit like that.
The thing is this: the PlayStation 4, it would have been a closer race if Microsoft did not shoot themselves in the foot with the One X launch or with the Xbox One launch. With TV, and all this other bullshit with all this DRM shit that you could argue that, hey, that stuff came to pass anyways, but still back in the day, that was a new and weird thing going on. And people
they also very stupidly launched weaker hardware, $100 more expensive because they felt the need to pack in fucking Connect that nobody wanted and no developers were really using. And then they said, "Oh, we can't get rid of it. It's integrated into the design of the console. We can't drop it."
And 5 days later.
And so PlayStation had a chance to build up that base, which after that, as you said, that was the generation where digital came into its own. And then when people were asked to buy another console, they're like, well, fuck, if I got all my games or most of my digital games on PlayStation, I guess I'm going to buy the PlayStation. That's sort of what's carried it. And for those of you saying that they're selling the same level. No, they're not selling the same level because Totoki came out and said no, that we have not sold as many PlayStation 5s as we did PlayStation 4s at the same amount of time. Remember they lowered their forecast from I think it was like 25 million to 21 million or something like that. So
they're still outpacing PS4. They just projected that they would have
they're
more.
decelerating at a faster rate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what are they both not doing? Like, so what do they not do in the Xbox One generation? They stopped making games. Biggest
problem with Xbox right now is that there is not a game. They're good games. I'm not going to sit here and say they're not good games, but there's not a game that is irrevocably linked to Xbox that's like a stellar game that, oh my God. Halo
Stella.
was.
Did you say Stella?
Yeah, but hold on.
Oh, fuck you.
the entire comment you're trying to make is irrelevant if you're trying to say that the games don't matter.
No, the games do matter. That's the problem. I'm saying the games do matter, but I mean the problem is with Xbox is they just not have had a chance to sort of get into the mindset of what those games are.
Bro.
Huh?
They've had chances.
I'm not saying they didn't have chances. I'm not saying that they didn't have. I think they've squandered their chances. I think that, like, for example, Halo coming out in the fucking situation that it did had no business doing that, you know? And them milking the 3 freaking franchises over and over again, Halo, Gears, and Forza to the point where it became a meme, also hurt them as well. They did not invest into other IPs.
Viva Pinata.
Well,
so we got Crackdown 3
or Voodoo Vince.
What? The fuck out of here.
Hey, we got Peppa Pig, man. Come on.
Oh yeah, that's the killer app. Peppa Pig. Yeah, there you go. Peppa Pig.
I'm not saying it's all games, and it's never all games with a system, right? But the system exists to sell those games, and you have to have those games to bring people into the ecosystem. Doesn't it? Like Phil Spencer said, there's no world in which we release a Starfield and people start selling their PlayStations coming over to Xbox. Like, yeah, that's right. But if you release a Starfield, like Starfield was pretty good, but if you release a Hellblade 2, that's a hit.
That is not going to move on.
He's building up on it.
Okay, real quick, let me, because I really haven't spoken.
Okay, go ahead. Cerebral,
Can I just real quick say that
if you start making your consoles synonymous with quality games, like PlayStation has, like Nintendo has, it's going to bring people over. Xbox doesn't have that name. I love Xbox. I'm an Xbox guy. I love their games, but they don't, you're right, Wize, they don't have those games. They need to make some of those games that only they have, and people will come over. It may not move the needle hugely, but over time, it will move the needle, and it will make it more, you'll see growth.
They'll definitely get into the zeitgeist, the general zeitgeist, and that's the problem. I think they're on the tertiary of the zeitgeist. I think the zeitgeist is pretty much controlled by both Nintendo and PlayStation, and Xbox is just...
They lost the mind share a long time ago, and they're trying to claw for it back with all these things they're trying to do, and it's just not working for them.
And see, what people don't understand is mind share is a big deal. Like, people don't understand that, like, you know, even now, there's a lot of coffee shops, but unfortunately, people want to drink Starbucks because that's what they're used to, Starbucks. You know, they don't want to drink coffee. They just want Starbucks, you know?
Yeah. So Paul was saying something.
Yeah, Paul, go ahead.
I just wanted to say that I think exclusives do still matter, but they don't matter to the extent that they did 13 years ago. Okay, they do still matter, but they don't carry the same weight they did in 2013 or whatever. When
if that's true, then why would Epic, fighting the absolute giant that Steam is, why would Epic give developers 100% of revenue back to publish exclusively in their store? Because they know that it does shift some sort of, it will bring them some market share. Like, it's a tried and true strategy. You can't.
Well, some is not. But okay, you didn't listen to what I said. I said it still matters, but not to the same extent it did absolutely in 2013 with that generation of consoles.
Yeah, but Paul, to be fair, look at the sales of the Switch. It's nipping at the heels of the PS2, and it's basically a Texas Instruments calculator.
Don't
insult my TI-84.
Yo, leave Texas.
Play some really good fucking games.
What does Texas have to do with this?
Neither Sony
about as much as it has to do with you, sir.
Going to be able to do what Nintendo does.
Mm-hmm. Right. My question to you, Paul. Hold on. My question to you, Paul, was why are they selling so many Switches?
What? Well, again,
Why
yes,
are they selling so many Switches?
Well, it's because of their titles, dude, and I know that. But I also realized that it's always the same 3 titles. Okay, I mean, if people are dumb enough to buy the same 3 titles every 4
We are
years,
talking about people that bought cardboard.
you know. It is what it is,
you can't like, okay, so Nintendo is a beast of its own. I mean, in the sense that as long as they have Miyamoto and they got Mario and Zelda locked into that console, to their platform, nothing's happening to Nintendo. I'm sorry to say that, because they've grown way above and beyond a traditional gaming company. They've now become akin to actually in many ways bigger than sometimes Disney. I mean, like Mario is more recognized than, Mickey Mouse. So you can't say that Nintendo IPs and everything. Nintendo is a beast, sort of done its own thing for better or worse.
Right. And they also remember they don't need they don't need to, but then there aren't as many third-party titles that I could get on the Nintendo that I can on my Xbox or on my PlayStation, or
that's why
if I want to play Mario, if I want, then I have to go to. But
And you see, another thing is this: Nintendo is safe. So when it comes to parents, and
there's that too.
Nintendo is safe when it comes to parents who don't know much about games, and they've heard like the toxicity of some of these other games like GTA and everything. What console can you buy your 5-year-old Timothy that that all the games on there are sort of age appropriate? Well, Nintendo, because
can't get no Stellar Yams on Switch.
Bayonetta, but like, for example, for the most part, the majority of the games on the Switch, the majority recognized games on the Switch are.
And you don't have to worry about them linking together with strangers because those friend codes are shit. So
they're online.
So Tim Dog just dropped something on Twitter, and if it's true, it proves my point. So he's saying that they're going to have GTA 6 on Game Pass day one.
Get the fuck out of here! They're gonna have GTA 6 on Game Pass.
No, that's just because it's GTA. I don't believe that, but it's
I think the devs of GTA said that will not happen.
I could have.
That's not happening. That is not happening.
I seem to recall an article. Now they may have changed their mind, but I do seem to recall statements being made to the extent of they don't need Game Pass.
Rockstar currently holds the record for the most either money or sales within the first 24 hours of any entertainment company period.
With that said,
Xbox doesn't have a huge consumer base, right? So like you're not making it day one on PlayStation 6. It's day one on Game Pass plus all your sales on PlayStation. So that's.
And I was going to say day one on Game Pass. Day one on Game Pass isn't necessarily a bad thing if they do choose to do that, because where they make their money is those fucking those fucking bucks that you can buy, the cards,
the short cards.
Dude, you
also,
said
I just don't see Rockstar doing that.
They can make more. They can make money without them. They don't need it.
And throwing money at the problem hasn't fixed the problem. So throwing more money at the problem is still not going to fix the problem. And the amount of money that would have to throw at Rockstar to make that shit day one in Game Pass would be fucking. I don't even want to contemplate with that.
Well, Doom said Microsoft has $2 billion to pay that.
Sales of GTA 5, right? So that's what it would have to do. So you would have to meet and exceed the sales of GTA 5, in a specific time period for Xbox, which they do have the money to do.
Xbox, I like it.
Xbox. Personally speaking, I really don't feel that there is anything right now. Xbox. I mean, again, I have an Xbox. I got PlayStation. I got Switch. I personally do not feel there is anything that is going to help Xbox claw back from third place. I think that what they need to focus on is being profitable and competing with themselves, because they're definitely not going to be competing metric for metric with PlayStation or metric for metric with Nintendo. Just like PlayStation, I do not think will ever be able to compare metric for metric with Nintendo because they're not going to. They just don't have a 45 million seller game or 50 million seller game consistently like Nintendo does. They do not have the market share or the mindset.
Nobody has that fucking attach rate for sure.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, there's no other game that's going to sell. Maybe GTA 6, but no first-party IP that PlayStation can put out that's going to hold a candle to any Mario, Zelda, Mario Kart, Smash Brothers, Animal Crossing, you name it. Okay, so Splatoon, whatever.
I think it would be closer if PlayStation and Xbox didn't have so many of the third-party options. Because like on Nintendo, you don't have as many third-party options. So when they drop a new game, it's like, fuck, you got to get that. That's their game. Like there's nothing else coming out than another weird Weibo shit.
And it's probably a Mario game or a or a Zelda game.
Peach
Okay?
game that just fucking came out.
Well, I mean, the thing about their games are they also have impeccable game design.
Yeah.
So they have like you can say, oh, it's another Mario game, but is it like the last Mario game? And usually no. It's like they can make Mario is just the character that they use for making a game.
Like how Mario Galaxy and Mario Sunshine were trash.
You're objectively wrong.
So, just real quick, I did the math on the GTA 5. So the worldwide release, I did it up to about 2020. The sales of GT 5 up to 2020 is 630 million. Minus 30% is 440 million. So,
but that doesn't include GTA Online. GTA 5 was just there just to get as a gateway to have kids play GTA Online.
But you don't lose those sales if you put it on Game Pass. In fact, you probably increase those sales. So for Xbox to get, let's be honest, for Xbox to get GTA 5 on Game Pass isn't outside the realm of possibility. We saw how much they were looking to spend on things. So if you're talking, they come in and they go, look, here's 600 mil, and put it on Game Pass for 6 months.
Or 6 months.
600 mil? They don't need. That's a paltry amount.
Well, they don't need that much. They don't even.
Cozy,
that much,
lifetime
honestly.
sales of GTA 5 was 441 mil is what they would 100 mil 441 yeah.
They wouldn't have to spend what would amount for the lifetime sales for that. They would just
they would probably pick a window. They would probably pick a release
like 150 to 200 million, which is and they would say we want that for a year. Here we go on Game Pass.
Yeah. And also got to remember that was back then. GTA 5 was $60. It's an extra $10 for GTA 6.
Well,
yeah. But I've used that $10. I've done the lifetime sales at $70. So did the lifetime sales of GTA 5 at $70 minus the 30% gives you 440 mil. That's what they would have made profit for straight up.
And then the game is 11 years old, so take the lifetime sales and minus make what's 1 year's worth of sales.
Exactly.
Oh, and by the way, GTA Online has made them $8 billion.
Yeah, because that's where they make all their money. It's all credit cards, man.
Yes.
Here's the thing.
Sounds kind of mad.
In order for that to move the needle, you would have to assume that you're looking at someone that either games on Nintendo or PlayStation, doesn't have an Xbox. They would have to spend minimum $350 maybe to acquire an Xbox to not have to pay $70 for GTA 5 or GTA 6.
What if it's on the cloud?
Especially if they're already on, let's say, a PS5. Like it's cheaper to just pay $70 for GTA 6 than to buy a whole nother console to not have to pay $70.
But she's right. If it's on cloud access, they can play it on anything. Or not anything, but you know what I mean.
Actually, that'd be awful because, could you imagine millions of people trying to?
I just don't think the juice would be worth the squeeze for that. I mean, they may do it. Who the fuck knows? I have no idea what they're going to do. I don't think it would be worth it.
The numbers wouldn't be big, but some people would probably do it.
Well, Doom says something. He says GTA 6 will hit $1 billion in 8 hours. They don't need Game Pass. And then he follows that up with, and if GTA 6 sells for $100, it's still going to be the biggest game ever.
I agree. They could sell that game for $100 and people would still be out the door buying it.
They're going to sell
need Game Pass.
I disagree.
Everybody will buy that fucker. I mean, seriously.
Praxis, I
disagree. No, man, listen, Rockstar could be like, yo, it's $100 and a blowjob, and people would be lining up to buy fucking knee pads.
No. They would only
knee pads would fucking be out of stock worldwide.
But you see what people, But what people don't understand.
What people? Here you go.
But what people don't understand is that, like, what is going to compel somebody who has all this crap invested in GTA Online to go and jump ship to GTA 6? Now, if they lock GTA Online with the purchase of GTA 6, that you can no longer play GTA Online unless you have the current version of GTA, which is 6, then I can agree with that.
They won't do that.
If they're going to charge 100 and 100 plus on a game that is a standalone experience, I sincerely doubt, like, especially my kid, who's my little kid who only plays online, who's going to want to buy that game, GTA 6, when they can still play online.
I'm thinking if they were to merge, I think you're about to say the risk is like, was it Overwatch 2? They did something like that, like they just merged the two, but I don't see them shutting down GTA 5 unless that thing stops printing money. They're not going to like, all right, we want everyone on 6. Like, nah, they can trade that thing.
They'll leave 5 online for the peasants, right? And then they just have the new hotness online for all the people that want the new shit. Like, there's gonna be FOMO like a motherfucker.
Well, yeah, please. But that's what I'm saying.
Everybody's gonna come over, even if you start over from scratch. They're going.
No, there are a lot of people that aren't gonna want to come over though. They're not gonna want to leave the characters that they've invested probably thousands of dollars.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but money investment. But I mean, at least in this day and age, people be jumping on brand new games and dropping more money anyway. Like, moving to a different game and dropping new money.
These guys are still playing GTA 5 after 12 years. Trust me, they're not going to be quick to jump on the new game because it's the new game. Because
especially if it's $100 or something.
Yeah, say you release Hellblade, right? You release Hellblade, that's in Game Pass. You release another game, fucking Avowed, that's in Game Pass. Then you drop COD. You're like, COD's in Game Pass. And then boom, GTA 6 is in Game Pass. Like, then people start to go, oh man, I got to get over that. Like, you can't game. Like, feels right. One game is never going to move the needle.
But a series of games will bump that needle.
Series of the right. Series of the right.
We hitting like nitrous, I think. Fly.
Well, it's gonna be interesting. Like, here's the situation. Like, let's play devil's advocate here. Let's say you're right about that. Let's say GTA 6 finds its way on Game Pass day one. Now you got a situation here. You got the Series X that can play the game at mediocre settings. You have a PS5 Pro that Sony's coming out that's going to play it at 60.
No, people are not going to hop over to the PS5 Pro and be like, you know what, I would drop $600 so I can
that extra
$16 or whatever play it through Game Pass. Like,
that extra 20% of
Series S. If it's, I know they separate their PC. Well, it's coming to PC, so never mind. But now I don't see people say, I'd rather get the PS5 Pro and play it at maybe 60. I don't know. People see a discount on the Xbox. Let me get that Xbox. What you talking about?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's going to shift the needle much. I think, like, you know, you have those games where they're just hovering just below 60 and you see some drops. You're probably going to lock 60 on the PS5 Pro. But the ones that are like Dragon's Dogma, it's going to make zero difference. They haven't given enough CPU overhead. Maybe a little bit. Like, so maybe
the vast majority of gamers also don't watch Digital Foundry. They don't give a fuck about what the brand rates are. They don't know.
People be gobbling up Breath of the Wild, and that shit barely runs at.
They'll be like playing Nintendo slideshow Breath of the Wild.
Wow. Yes. Yeah. Well, in the forest, it was pretty bad.
To be fair, that is one of their worst performing games.
Anytime there's an explosion of any fucking sort.
Breath of the Wild ran like fucking butter compared to Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom ran like straight ass.
Yeah, butter filled with rocks.
No,
I mean, that's because Breath of the Wild also had to run on the Wii U.
Yeah, well.
So that's why I run those on my PC. So just don't ask how.
Well, speaking of rumored consoles, we did get a leaked picture of the white Series X that was discless. And I did say dickless. So there you go.
Man, it is an albino Series X. You can't help it. They can't help it. It was born that way.
It lost the disc and lost the pigment at the same time. It had alopecia or some shit like that.
Is it that same stupid picture that's been floating around for about a month? They got it from some insider, whatever.
It was a filthy system.
It honestly, it looked. I don't know if that's real or not. It kind of looks fake to me.
I'm looking at the edges.
What happens is you buy the Xbox.
It's grainy as fuck. Like it's 2024. What'd they take the picture with?
Yeah, if it's the same one I think I saw, there's no way in hell. Yeah.
No, what it is they're going to sell you the box. You're going to open.
zoom in on the barcode? Because that's the first thing I did. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this barcode? Is that barcode in Arabic? I'm like, barcode, and I'm
Aramaic.
Fucking jagged
Aramaic.
edges were in that picture. I was like, well, why are that edge is so jagged? What's going on?
That was
The jokes I want to say about
Hey,
that.
because
white
it's Easter, I'm
Xbox.
just going to say that was Jesus' Xbox. Okay, Easter, it was in Arabic.
Sanskrit, for Christ's sake.
Jim, go ahead.
They'll
Rag on
release
it.
it on Sunday for Easter, and on the third day it
Well, the
rose.
joke I want to say might be offensive to some individuals.
It's okay. I'm not gonna get offended.
Have
Man,
you met
fuck
us?
it, lock it, load it, and fire that shit. Let's go,
Now
son.
you can't leave us hanging. You gotta go ahead and
I
blow
could tell you, but
blow
I
the
took a
cap
look
off
at the
this shit.
Xbox and I thought, gee, they must have scared the black out of that bitch.
Oh.
God damn!
messy.
Oh fuck! Shit.
God
Now,
damn.
can you imagine what happens? Like you buy the fucking Xbox, right? They sell you this Series X, but when you first fucking open it, it's black and normal, and then as the days
Black
progress,
and
it starts getting
normal?
white spots everywhere, and the disc starts.
Yo,
Did he
black
just
and
say what he?
normal.
See, that was more offensive. That was actually
Black
more offensive.
and normal.
Wow.
Do you work for Xbox marketing? What?
He did.
You get a call. I think my console has vitiligo. They have the same disease Michael Jackson did.
Wow. Just keep
Damn.
digging that hole, baby.
This
Keep
is why we
digging
never
that
get
hole,
sponsors.
He did it anyway.
It's never happened.
Yeah, we ain't getting
I
sponsored.
tried to stop them.
We're not
right?
getting sponsored.
I tried to stop them.
no man. Like,
Yeah, you guys. But something that he did come out. He did in the interview. He did reiterate their commitment to both consoles and gaming. I mean,
I think Doug has to go outside, so I'll be right back.
sure, no problem. I don't like this narrative over and over again. Like people keep putting out there that Xbox is going to become third party or Xbox is going to leave the gaming
I
space.
don't know, man.
I just
No, they're not going to leave the gaming space. Third party,
Yeah.
probably, but that not anytime soon.
Yeah.
But I mean, that'll be everything eventually.
Once we see
Yep.
Halo on PlayStation, like it's over, guys.
I mean, the future though is
The
not
future is PC.
that too.
all
And it's
I
just,
know is,
I just
my
honestly don't
future's
think-
so bright I got to wear shades. That's all I know.
It's a good song, man.
No, you got to wear
I,
shades because you're blind as fuck. That's why.
He doesn't want people to see his milky ass eyes.
You know
That's
that, and he can't see this future anyways. Whether it's bright or not, we just tell him it's bright because you
No,
don't
but
want him to get
I honestly think that whatever they do for their next generation console, I don't think it's going to be what we're thinking in terms of like this arms race with PlayStation. I don't. If you listen to the things they're saying too, like Sarah Bond was talking about how their next console is going to be the largest technological leap we've seen in a console generation.
Well-
What does that mean, technological leap? Like
No, it's
Yeah.
what
talking.
type of
It's just them
technology?
talking.
Right? Like she didn't say it's going to be the most powerful jump or the largest gap in power we've seen. It's just the biggest technological leap. That could mean anything.
But what's a
AI.
technological leap though? Does that
Right.
not involve power?
well.
AI.
Not necessarily, Loke. I mean, the technology could be anything.
No, I think what's going to happen is, and it's just happening for every device. I mean, just like everyone, all the other tech companies, be it Google, Apple, whatever, is going hell bent on AI and putting AI in every fucking thing. I think that's what's going to happen with the next gen consoles, be it PlayStation or Xbox, because Nintendo's old as fuck. They're going to probably release something that's equivalent to a Series X, but. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what's going to happen. I think they're going to put AI stuff in there. There's going to be a whole lot of, they're going to be. I think for some reason they're trying to like ram ray tracing down our throats, whether we want it or not. And so they're going to do like AI shit to make ray tracing more feasible and less, resource intensive and all that other jazz and bullshit that they're trying to do. And I think that's what's going to be their, big leap forward is AI. And yeah, I mean, whether it pans out in fruition or not, we don't know, but that's what I think is going
when
to
tech
happen.
companies talk about a technological leap, they're talking about performance. I mean, that's always what it's been. It's never
Exactly.
not been about that.
But if you have AI,
Especially when you're talking about companies like AMD and Intel, when they're talking about what their next technological leap forward, they're talking about processing power and capability of doing things.
but
When
how
they're
is that
talking about-
how does that manifest itself? through graphics,
by
right?
Making it,
And
by making it, and that's what I'm
Well,
saying.
not just
I'm
through
saying
Dang,
graphics,
gotta be
not for
graphics.
gaming, not just
Take
through
note
graphics
for
gaming.
Dragon's
This is-
Dogma, y'all.
But by making
Do
that
more
statement, their
graphics.
statement is
Okay.
implicit that they're talking about that. If they're talking about something else, maybe they're implying something, and I could be wrong, but I'm saying the vast majority of the history of gaming up to this point, that's what it's meant. That's what I'm saying. So saying it doesn't mean that is just as much guess as me saying it does. Okay.
And see, but my pushback on this is this: like we know, like right now, consoles are within one generation of PCs. Basically, they're not as far away from PCs as they were back.
Not really. The new
Well, they're
cards
closer
are
to
gonna
the
push
to
pretty quick.
PCs than they were in the
well,
past.
because
Any
the
previous
PCs
generation.
keep moving forward faster, but they
Well,
are
they
closer
move
than
way
they've ever
faster.
been.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
but
new
they-
chip. If you
At
keep
at the launch, there was pretty close to parity at launch.
yeah, the
but that
bleeding
disappeared
edge is
really
drifting
quick.
away quickly. Let's
Yeah.
put it that way.
I don't want to.
He said
I don't want
the
to
game-
interrupt too much, but I gotta get out of here, guys. I gotta get ready.
Yeah, you got your show too. Riska, we're really honored that you came on, and we hope you had a good time. And yeah, just tell us where we can find you.
Thank you.
Tell us where we can find
You're
you.
really honored. I could give a shit. No, I'm kidding. Hi, Richard. How you doing?
Dude said, "Fuck your friends." Like, someone follow this guy. He said, "Fuck your friends." What?
Brisket knows. Brisket knows.
Can
I
you
like
let
him.
this poor guy tell him where we can find him, please?
No.
No, we
Shut
don't
the
want
fuck
him to
up.
leave.
Now, my friends, if they're really friends, they'll follow me. That's That's the thing.
Right.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter. Brisket for the Biscuits. You can find me. Just search up my name and you'll find me anywhere. Yeah, no, it was good. It was good fun, man. I wish I had more time, but I got to get set up. Got to go make myself a coffee and sort this OBS bullshit out. I got to get rid of OBS.
Yeah, that's why I did StreamYard, because I don't want to fuck around with all that
patched
shit.
again, didn't they? I gotta check.
I keep getting
You gotta
popped up.
turn
I'm
off
like,
the
no,
patches. You
no,
have to
no.
turn off the patches.
I need to figure out because when it's slip up and catch me, I'm like, God damn it, now I got to do this all over again.
But Ritzka, we would love to have you back on whenever it's feasible, or whenever, like for example, you're not doing your show on a Friday night. We would love to have you on for the full ride.
Trick the bear, you know.
Absolutely, man. I'll hit you up if there's a week I'm not doing the show because it does happen occasionally. So I'll definitely hit you up.
Well, at the
Or
end
if
of the
you're
day, I
ever
hope you had a
looking
good
for somebody,
time.
Brisket,
And
think of
as
me.
I
We
said, we
should-
try to keep this podcast very relaxed. As I said, a bunch of guys and gals getting together, shooting the shit, drinking, and letting the
Just a bunch of
conversation go where
assholes
it
here
wants.
for you. You know.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. It was good fun. It was good to be relaxed and sort of non-worried about talking about what's his name, putting his legs over his head.
Kojima. Yeah. Well.
Oh shit! No! Oh my God, Locust is gonna fucking blast you once you leave.
Press one again.
Yeah.
What? Press him again. Goddamn
Someone
Kojima.
take a shot at Kojima.
Oh my God!
No.
All right, guys. Yeah, have a good one.
He fucking opened. He fucking.
See you later, Brisket.
Yeah, have a good one. He fucking stirs the hornet's nest and then doesn't leave. So thank you.
You can't stir a hornet's nest. You kick a hornet's nest. Jesus Christ.
Well,
Me,
I'm now a fucking band. I can do whatever the hell I want to do to a hornet's
Listen,
nest.
we
Get
all
off my
understand
back.
the analogy.
This man just mixed matching fucking metaphors like he's playing fucking what is it?
What part of math teacher do you not understand? Okay, I got an infinite set of numbers to work with. When you have 26 letters, you can do all sort of creative shit. When you're dealing with an infinite set of numbers, you're only finite. You can only do something.
What are you babbling about?
Oh, go to hell.
I'm trying to keep track and it ain't working. Damn it.
All you need is 110001. You can still get your point across.
All right. One thing that was rumored around was that Xbox is considering putting Steam on
On the
their
system.
console.
Xbox.
Yeah.
Xbox.
Interesting. It's like
I don't
circle?
understand this. It's like then the Xbox is just a weak PC at that point. Like, what's the point?
Well, then fucking go full blast. Put Windows on that fucking thing so that when anyone takes it anywhere, they can also have Windows.
No.
No.
The reason they would never do that, dude, is because a console is a closed ecosystem as far as the hardware goes. That's what they like about it. That's why it's easier to program for. Because all the Xboxes are the same. They're not okay. You have this device. They very much limit what you can plug in as far as plug and play goes on an Xbox or even on a PlayStation.
Well, yeah.
Because of that, so you'll never see a full blown operating system on a gaming console.
And when you say it's just the weak PC, there is no PC that you're going to get for the price of an Xbox. That's in the same comparable range of
Yeah.
function.
I mean, you probably can now. Not at launch. You probably can now, though.
Probably,
No.
but you searching
No.
for deals. And
No, I have a cheap
kinda-
PC. I built a
yeah.
cheap PC, and mine was $750.
Yeah,
And that is a cheap PC.
The graphics card is what gets you. It's
Mm.
really.
Yep, I have a cheap GPU, and it still was
Yeah, but
$250.
you also at that point now have something with modularity that's future proof.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of still gotta,
which is the appeal of PC. And I'm a console guy. I don't give a fuck about that. But like, if they made the consoles to the point where now they're just essentially PCs.
I mean, they already are.
Well, I
understand.
Real quick, putting Steam on a console is a plus. Let's say you can't afford even a low end PC, or you don't have room for a low end PC. If you all of a sudden all the Steam games can be played on your console, oh hell yeah!
All the Steam games, yeah, because it's not like they're not really turning to it. It's just the stores being added. They're not like, okay, now you can swap out parts and stuff. It's still the same console. You still get the simple plug and play. Now you just have options on where you can buy your games.
You also can't get a smaller gaming PC for that price at all. Ugh.
Well, maybe this is what Xbox's business strategy is. They're like, okay, well, we can't fuck with PlayStation and Nintendo console for console, but we can give the consumers a basically subsidized PC that, you know, a comparable spec PC would be a lot higher. Maybe that's what their thinking is. So, I mean, that and they probably would be right, you know? So, like, yeah, why not?
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, because I have Steam and I have a PC, but if I could play my Steam games on my Xbox without having to switch stuff over, I'm there. You know, it's like, okay.
Honest question, because I don't play on PC. Like, what when you say Steam games, like what is like the Steam games that would be like a big deal coming over?
I don't know that there's a big deal, but there's thousands of
whatever they have. There's like thousands and thousands of
Yeah.
games on Steam that
It's a marketplace.
Yes, it's a marketplace, but there are games that literally will only exist there.
Yes.
I guess
no, that I understand. I was under the assumption like the major games, the bigger games, were already on Xbox.
I guess we're more.
Some of them are on Sony as well that aren't.
Yeah, I guess because I'm trying to think who that appealed to, and I guess if there's like a PC guy, it's like, you know, I want a better piece of hardware, but I ain't got the money, and the console's even better, and I got my Steam library. Maybe
it would appeal to me. It would appeal. It would definitely appeal to me. I say this because I mostly play on a monitor, right? But I also have a TV set up. Like if I have people over, you know, it's just weird to be at like your monitor playing with people. But what I'll do is I will just unplug mine and put it on the TV. But I would never do that with my computer, and that's half the reason I like having a console. I'm not. I know people. I know people say you can just hook your PC up to your computer, but it is not the same, and you still need a keyboard and mouse. And I'm not about to be.
Just use picture mode with or whatever it's called in Steam.
But that's the problem. I don't want to be locked into Steam. I don't want to just be using Steam, and so you need that keyboard and mouse. There's just a lot of cumbersome small details about using a PC, connecting it to the TV. So that would be something that would appeal to me also as someone who only builds cheaper PCs.
Well, here's the thing, right? Like, you know, now if a publisher or a developer is going to put their game only on Steam, do they now have to incorporate the fact that, hey, okay, now that Xbox games can't be played on Steam?
No, they won't notice any difference at all.
It won't. It's not their problem.
So basically, what does that mean? Like, what does that even logistically look like? Do I have to like download the Steam client, and that's how they're going to do it, or is it going to be native?
Depending on how they do it, they could feed it into Game Pass. They could have a separate client. It depends on what they decide.
Dual boot.
Like, Game Pass is its own launcher on the console as it is now. They could just easily make one that's a launcher for Steam. I mean, I say easily. I have no fucking idea what it entails. I'm just saying, like, they would probably do it.
And here's the thing is, because you guys keep saying it, but that it's not hard because Xbox and the PlayStation, they're both basically PCs, you know, of a form. And the fact that basically Xbox is a Windows PC.
Yeah, I was about to say
it makes it a lot easier for Steam to move stuff over or to make it so it'll be playable on an Xbox because it's the same basic inner workings.
Well, let me bring David into this. David, welcome. He's
hello.
Hey, how are you doing? Hope your week is going well and everything. Oh, by the way, what have you been playing? What you been drinking, etc. Let's go ahead and talk about that.
I've been playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Helldivers 2. Been drinking copious amounts of coffee because work's been very busy.
Democracy.
For liberty.
Democracy. Liberty. Plenty of whiskey going down as well. So yeah, having a good time.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. So yeah, we just to bring you up to speed, we are talking about some of the things that we're on the Xbox topic right now. We were talking about the interviews that Phil did this week. One with Kind of Funny, and one with a couple other people. Is that
What's
you?
going on behind you there? You in a bar?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
Just out and about at the moment. Sorry, I'll put myself on mute.
All right.
Okay.
Well, my question to you is, what do you think about, like, okay, so Xbox, so Phil came out and said basically he confirmed that they are looking into an Xbox handheld. Whether that comes out into fruition or not, we don't know yet. But he basically said yes. He did not confirm it, but he pretty much said everything he could, apart from just saying, yeah, we're working on it. So what do you think about this? Do you think that Xbox this is a good form factor? What do you think they're trying to do? Are they just like trying to throw everything at a wall and seeing what sticks, or what? Like, what do you think this motivation is to go behind this form factor of gaming?
I think they'd have to be considering every option, given the status of things at the moment. But it's no different to what PlayStation and Nintendo do as well. They're not doing their jobs properly if they're not considering different market factors and ways of expanding within the gaming industry itself isn't necessarily growing at a rapid rate. It's not declining, but they've got to find a way of continuing to grow their base. So I don't think there's any issues with what he's looking at, and he can say that we're looking into it now, and it may come through, it may not. No one really knows until it's out in the public and we've got our hands on it. So,
well, I put it out there, and I don't know if you listened to it, but I said that I think this is like, it makes kind of sense if you think about it, because like I think this variation of a weaker powered console would be better than just having a set-top box like the Series X that is weaker. Like, you make two consoles, one that is a set box.
I was going to speak to that, by the way.
Go ahead.
Reason they can't be working on both. The next console and a possible handheld. You're making like it's one and the same, and it may not necessarily be that.
No, I mean, I'm not saying that. I'm like, just like they tried a 2 SKU strategy here, right? Then maybe in the next generation,
but you were saying, you were comparatively like possibly like a Switch type of thing that you can dock. Well, maybe not. Maybe it's two separate devices that there's not going to be a you can dock. Which.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it would be a shame if they didn't allow the docking option, because, I mean, every other portable PC does, to a certain extent.
Every other portable PC.
Yeah, I mean, to think about it, like if you think about Steam Deck, you can dock that. You can Steam. Same thing with ROG Ally and all of those other ones. They're all dockable as well.
Right.
So,
and I've heard that as far as the Nintendo one goes, docking, a lot of people choose not to dock it because it looks like shit. But whatever.
Well, yeah, I mean, at least the option is there. I mean, I don't think that having a pass through would ramp up the cost of that device that much more, I don't think. But yeah, obviously you can't take something that's running on mobile PC and then have that project onto a 4K TV and then have the same fidelity or something. But yeah, I mean,
right.
So what do you think about that strategy, David? Do you think that that it would be a better strategy for them, or do you feel that, like, again, it's just it's too little too late, they're sort of focusing on the wrong thing?
I wouldn't say it's too little too late. There's always an opportunity to bring something new to the market and capitalize on it. It just depends on what makes money for them. There's no point in making a handheld and a box they're going to sell at a massive loss if they can't find a way of leading that into making money somewhere else. And that's the constant problem they have at the moment. The next step then is if they can bring something to market that's cost effective, that makes them money, and they can sell it, well, then why wouldn't they do it? We say that 40, 50, 60 million units sold is a failure. Like most other places, 40, 50 or 60 million units sold at a profit is a success. So, it comes down to what's going to be best for them. what's going to be best for the market that they can access. It may turn out that they develop it, get to a point and go, you know what, this is going to cost us $600 to make this handheld. We'd have to sell it at $800 or $900. We'd be better off to just leverage off a Steam Deck or a ROG or something else. So then it comes the question of, well, do we develop something and leverage off the Surface Pro tablets and try and, develop them into some kind of handheld device or something like that? There's options available to them. It's just a matter of reading the crystal ball and going, well, we think people might like this.
Well, speaking of which, the design of it all, why do you think they shifted the design of the console to the Surface team? Like, it's not that like the Surface team has done a stellar job with their own devices that they had to do. I mean, they're PCs, but do you think the motivation behind that would be?
They deal with portable devices.
No, but like why?
Simplification cost. You don't want three different teams aiming to build the one thing. So you get the team that's predominantly got capacity in it to do it instead of staffing up the other team.
Okay, so I mean, in general, I guess my question is that it seems like Xbox is doing everything in its power to try to sort of get into the mindset of people and try to get a little bit more, I guess, sell through than they are getting, or more buzz than they are getting. So do you feel that this focus on different form factors is something that they should? I'm not saying that they've always been one that releases devices and stuff, but like the problem, like for example, Riskit said, was that they don't have games or games that get people's zeitgeist, and that is the main reason why they're not able to claw themselves out of the position that they're in. How much do you agree or disagree with that statement?
I disagree a bit. I mean, the issue's always been that they haven't had enough quantity, and there's always questions around the quality, which in some cases I think is unfounded, because it's not like they've got a history of making absolute rubbish since day one. They've just spread themselves a bit thin in certain circumstances, made some decisions that they probably shouldn't have made at the time, and then you look at where they're at the moment. They just not got that killer blow from their management to utilise and maximise what they've got at their disposal.
So is there anything, do you believe, that they can do? Like I've said famously that I think Xbox needs to stop chasing after Nintendo and Sony, just like Sony needs to stop chasing after Nintendo. I think that all three of these developers or publishers have sort of eked out or dug out a niche for themselves, and they need to find the best way to be profitable in their niche, as opposed to looking at somebody else's niche and trying to occupy it. What do you think that there's anything Xbox could do that would make them go from the position that they're in and to a higher position, whether it's second place or first place?
I think they just have to do something different. Like you're saying, and from nearly everyone I've heard, when asked if they'd be interested in a native Xbox handheld device, not like the Switch, something that is almost, let's say, by the time it comes out, it's almost as powerful as current gen hardware. Almost everyone I know that when asked, they say, yeah, like they're interested in that. Which, I mean, that's probably a good starting place. But the thing is, right now, this is the second console generation for Xbox where they've seen a decline in the popularity of their hardware, right? Like Xbox One took a dive from 360. Currently, this generation has taken a dive from Xbox One. Does doing what they've been doing, just making a more powerful version of the same shit next generation, do anything to change that? I don't think so. I think you're just doing, again, definition of insanity. So maybe doing this new thing and trying to tap in this new emerging portable PC market is what they do. That, because I'd be interested in a fucking handheld Xbox native device personally. I think that would be fucking awesome. I wish PlayStation would do the same thing, but I don't think they are. If Xbox did it, I would totally be down for that. And you look at, like I said before, the best-selling console currently right now is the Switch. And of the two consoles that Xbox has for sale right now, people are gravitating towards the less powerful one that's less expensive. So consumers are telling them, we don't give a shit about the power. So why focus on that again for next generation? Do something different.
And the Switch is famously at $299. So was the Series S. So maybe that price point is the mass market price point for like mommy and daddy and little Timmy and stuff like that. So yeah. So all right, so let's go ahead and move on. Anybody else have anything to say? Cerebral, Low, Cozy, do y'all have anything to say about this, or can we go ahead and put that horse?
Please move on. Please stop beating that horse. All right.
Yeah, we
all
talked
right,
about this almost the entire time.
Small topic. Next is a small topic. Couple of games. Marvel Rivals. Anyone see this?
Overwatch. I'm sorry.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
It looks gay.
It's
I'm getting destroyed.
Why the fuck? Like,
I've seen some people express interest in it, and me just being me, I'm like, it looks like Overwatch. But I mean, if it's a good hero shooter, hopefully it's good. But yeah.
But even Overwatch,
what is it doing that's interesting or new and different? And when I look at it, I don't see anything new or different. I just look at a game that they said, "Oh, we're gonna take all these well-known characters and throw them in this shit," and it's the same fucking games that have been out for 10, 15 years.
And sometimes that's all they need to do, though, especially when it comes to superhero games. People want
this is
their
true,
superhero
but
games,
I mean, Avengers was.
I'm not saying I want to play it. I'm not saying I want to play it. But I'm saying it will have an audience, I'm sure, just not much of one.
Yeah, I personally have no excitement or interest in that game, but like Paul said, maybe somebody out there does.
Yeah, I mean, I think again, it's like basically a lemming situation. Everyone is sort of chasing the same shit, and they're like, okay, yeah, let's put Marvel let's make a Overwatch Marvel's game, and maybe that would.
I wouldn't be surprised if when it does actually has it even launched yet.
I don't even know when it launched.
Beta?
Yeah.
I think it's in beta.
It's alpha.
Alpha. So it'll probably have some kind of splash because people will be interested in the whole superhero thing. But how long it lasts after that, God only knows.
Yeah. Hopefully it's good. It's a good game, and it's not one of those just make a hero shooter people flock to. Like, hopefully it's actually a good, fun game.
Yeah.
All right. Next, the next big thing that happened this week was Take-Two basically buying Gearbox from Embracer Group. Gearbox, they came out and said, well, I think who came out and said
Take-Two put out like a post, I know, and Embracer Group had made a Twitter or tweet about it, or what they call an X now, X about it or something. I don't know.
They tweeted, okay?
I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, they made a comment about it, and I was on Take-Two's website, and they made a little blog post about it too.
And no surprise to anybody, they're saying that Borderlands 4 is in active development. Like, no shit, Sherlock. Seriously.
I just hope we get a better story than we got Borderlands 3, and yeah.
I like Borderlands 3. I spent a lot of time.
I
played with friends, so I did play multiplayer with friends, so which makes it more fun.
Yeah, it was a story that I wasn't too much of a fan of, and early on that game had some performance problems, but I mean overall it was a solid gameplay wise, but not some of their story decisions. I was like, this ain't it. But yeah.
Well, how many times can they go to the same well and keep coming up with something? That's like 1, 2, and 3.
Well, at least with the Borderlands, if they want to branch out and really expand on, because 1 and 2 were all on Pandora, then 3 they tried to expand and put on different planets, but the play area was small on each planet, or it varied on each planet. But they can branch out on that one. Of course, you can still have different classes and how they want to approach their skill trees. I know they tried a different approach in 3, or at least DLC wise, they used to introduce characters. In 3 we got new skill classes instead of characters altogether, so they can do something like that. And get more creative with their weapon factions and special abilities and stuff like that. So they can add some variety in there, just how they go about approaching it.
I don't know. They tried getting a little creative with Tiny Tina's Wonderland, and that game was, I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it was significantly, a step down from what Borderlands 3 was.
But it was a different style, though. Tiny
No,
was an absolutely different style. So
right. That was what I was saying. Like they tried doing something different, because he's saying going back to the same well. I'm saying they went to a different well with Tiny Tina's Wonderland, and it for me anyway, it wasn't as good as the other game. But again, like for Borderlands 4, how different can they make it Like,
Wall
yeah, they can
running,
add wonkier
jumping
weapons,
over-
cool, but like it's the fourth game. We've seen wonky. Like, how much wonkier can they get? How much
I think it's
crazier
going to
can
be
the
more about the story and hopefully they
Yeah.
introduce some new interesting characters more than anything.
I mean, they can expand on if they want. They can expand on vehicle combat. They can expand on movement options.
That
Not
would be
saying we gotta be doing like Titanfall stuff, but they try introducing like ground pounds and slides and stuff like that. They were kind of they're okay, but this different things they can introduce is the overall feel of the game. So there's ways. It's just how far they want to branch out from that looter shooter skill class system and go from there. I haven't put too much time into Wonderlands, so there could be elements they borrow from that, but I definitely understand your fourth go around. And actually, no, their fifth, because there's the pre-sequel that they had as well.
Yeah,
So
I like the pre-sequel. Yeah,
I mean, maybe they can add modularity to the weapons.
I'm trying to think. You can't level. What was a mechanic? I don't know if they have a mechanic like you use a weapon long enough, you can level it up and like changes or something like that. Maybe that'd be a cool little idea to have into the game. The weapon evolves with you or something like that. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I like the art style, and I still to this day like the art style, but it's just one of those things that, like, as you said, like, what this is your fourth iteration. What are you going to do now? I totally understand why they might be doing it, right? Like, because they've tried, as you said, Super, other avenues, like with Tina's Wonderland, and they have also had that other hero shooter at one time,
Battleborn.
Battleborn, and every other it didn't work for them. So
no, but see, here's the thing they got working in their favor too. Remember, we got a Borderlands movie coming out as well.
Is that a thing? Is it in active production, or I mean, I knew that they were trying to make one.
Bro, there's a trailer and everything.
There's a trailer for it, yeah.
Oh yeah. I remember seeing that.
Yeah, I saw the trailer. I was
and fucking 75 billion-year-old Kate Blanchett is Aerith,
bro.
Not Aerith. What's her name?
What's up with these old people? Just let it go.
Oh, shut the fuck up, Logan. Jesus Christ.
I love Kate Blanchett.
No, I won't.
Like, she's too old for that role, man.
Your time
what's wrong
has
with old
come
people,
and
Logan?
gone. Your time has come and gone. Make peace with it. Find a grave.
Return yourself to the earth.
He said, "Find
yourself to
find the grave."
Wow.
Well, speaking
I'm
of
just
other
saying,
games,
like, I have nothing against old people, but don't come here and make a game and make a movie, right? That clearly you want to make a franchise out of, and then you put a whole bunch of arthritic people right there as like the leads.
I don't have arthritis, okay? I'm just saying, I'm old.
I'm
not talking about you, man.
No, I definitely understand what you're saying. Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Kevin Hart
is
is also like he's not that character. Like none of the castings I particularly find
and
to
there's
be
so
like
much running in
Borderlands. They're strange.
How are you gonna make those people run?
And then not casting the guy that did the Claptrap in the games. I know it's a different guy that did Claptrap in the third game, but at least he still sounds like Claptrap.
Yeah.
Jack Black
sounds like Jack Black.
Yeah,
he's
doing something with his voice. He's not just Jack Black in the trailer, but I mean, when you have the guy alive who's fucking Claptrap, and he's going to be fucking computer graphics anyway. The only reason why Jack Black is in the movie is so they can put his fucking name on the poster.
I mean,
that's
how it always goes with most celebrities.
Why do you think they have Chris Pratt voice Mario?
Oh,
I think he did.
Well, I mean, the same fucking situation. They had Charles Martinet, who was doing a damn good job, and all of a sudden, now the movie comes out, and they go with Chris Pratt. I'm like,
in that case, I can understand though, because Charles Martinet talking like that for an hour and a half probably would get
Make you want to
annoying.
kill yourself.
Yeah, like Super Mario says like a word every fucking 15 minutes. But with Claptrap, like they could have gotten the dude that does the damn voice. Or like they just brought back X-Men 97 for Disney Plus, and they brought back the original Wolverine and the original Rogue. Like they're alive, why not use them?
Well, famously so. The original Wolverine came on record and said that he had to actually audition for that voice.
Yes,
I thought it was different in the trailer. I guess they changed it because I remember watching the trailer like this new Wolverine does not sound right at all.
I mean, they're also 30 years older, bro. Like your voice changes over 30
Yeah.
years. But at least it's still the guy, and it still has the feeling of the original character. They could have gotten the Claptrap guy.
especially with males, our voices change a lot more as we get older. That's why a lot of times in animation, it's females voice the male parts because their voice doesn't change as much over time.
That's how you can date an episode of Law and Order by how what you
Very
could do
random.
sounds. No. It's like as his voice, like his Sam Waterstone or something like that.
Sam Waterston. Yeah, Sam
Yeah.
Waterston.
Yeah, like his voice sounds like his voice gets like really gravelly as he gets
his
old.
voice has changed a lot as he's gotten older.
And it's like you can be like, oh, this is an older episode of Law and Order because his voice is like.
He's officially retired now too. So.
Well, let me. Speaking of games that are also in active development, Elder Scrolls is celebrated 30-year anniversary, and Bethesda put out a blog saying that we are in active development for Elder Scrolls 6, and we have a running build. Cool, I guess. I mean,
I don't anticipate that game out for like another 5 years. If it comes out really bad, I'll be surprised.
Yeah, I think that game is going to come out around the time of PlayStation 6 or something like that. Maybe
PlayStation 10.
The 6 Pro.
6 Pro, yeah, that's right. And I presume, I mean, and I'm going out on a limb here, I believe that Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be multi-plat day one.
Yeah.
I have a
Okay,
feeling.
this is bullshit. I was attacking two rock giants and a griffin just flew in. This is absolute bullshit.
No, okay.
Bro, I was
winged
fighting a Minotaur. This thing kicked my ass, and I got jumped by some wolves and getting dragged off. I'm like, bro, leave.
You probably did something to deserve it.
Fucking wolves jumped out of the bush like, yo, give me your wallet.
I swear. Like, I'm getting tossed around by the Minotaur, and the wolves just popped up and started dragging me. I'm like, bro, what the fuck?
I was talking to Loke about this, and I said, you know what? I really want to play Dragon's Dogma 2, but unfortunately, I'm still stuck with Rebirth, and I'm like right now with like you were super with Avatar. It's not that I'm having a bad time with Rebirth. It's just now I have to fucking finish that game because I'm tired of playing 20 hours into a game, 15 hours into a fucking game, just to stop that goddamn game to go to another game. Just for me to go back and having forgot everything about the game.
I mean, I finally finished it, but it took me probably close to 200 hours, and I didn't even platinum it.
Lord.
Well, because I did everything you can on the maps. Like I found everything and did all the intel for each fucking area, and that shit takes a while.
What are you doing? Everything? What do you need to platinum? Like beat it 2 more times?
I don't know. I don't even look like I'm not a platinum chaser. Like unless it's like a game that I really love, and then like where I'm done, and I'm like, bro, I'll go through a second playthrough right this instant. Unless it's like that type of game for me, I just play, and whatever I get naturally through playing, that's what I get. I don't see like what trophies can I get. I just get whatever trophies I get, and that's it. And there are very, very few where I look and I'm like, how far away is the platinum? You know, like Horizon Forbidden West and Zero Dawn. For those, I was like, how far away is the platinum? And those are easy platinum. And I'm like, fuck it, I'll spend an extra 6 hours cleaning shit up, whatever it is, to get the platinum. But for most games, I just play whatever I get. So, and then for Final Fantasy, I know that it was probably an insane amount of bullshit.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to do.
No, you have to beat it on hard and be 100% it on hard. And I'm like, there's no fucking way I'm going back and playing another 100-hour plus game, the same game again for another 100.
See, I hate shit like that. It's like, dude, just like make the platinum for playing on normal. Like, why do I have to play on a harder difficulty? Or games where you don't even unlock the harder difficulty till after you beat it, and you have to do a second playthrough. It's like, fuck off.
For a shorter game, in comparison, I should say, like Dead Space, you got to beat it again on impossible mode. You know what you're doing. You can rush through that. But like Final Fantasy,
I remember the game. The platinum leaked right before the game launched, and I'm like, yeah, there's no fucking way. And because the hard mode is locked right into, you have to beat the original, and then you can go back and unlock the hard mode, and then you have to 100% the hard mode to get platinum. I'm like, what the fuck? Are you crazy or what? You know? So
it's probably also some dumb shit where you have to probably get all the proficiency with every weapon for every character, and like maybe you didn't find certain weapons. You gotta, like, I can imagine some dumb shit like that, and I'm just like, dude, I don't care. I already put 200 hours into the game. I'm now in Rise of the Ronin. That shit's, I already yeeted Rebirth off my hard drive. Like, it's done. I will probably not come back to it.
I will not
it's
play
not.
a game that's forcing me to go through a second pass. Famously enough, I remember the first game that made me do that was Ghosts and Goblins. I got to the fucking main boss, killed him with a goddamn dagger. They made me start from the very fucking beginning in the graveyard with a shield. I'm like, hell, fucking no.
I did that with Resident Evil Village because you basically have to do at least 3 playthroughs in order to platinum it, because you need to have a speed run, which obviously you're not getting that in your first playthrough. And then there's something else you have to do that basically in order to do that, you wouldn't be able to get the speed run. So it's like you do your main run, then whatever that other run is to get the other bullshit, and then you do your speed run, and then your 3 runs there are how you get the platinum. It's easy. Especially since once you know what you're doing, you skip everything. But yeah, because I beat that in an hour and 58 minutes for the speed run. Like, it's easy to fly through that shit. But like that's the only game I've ever played where I was like, dude, I'll run through multiple times because it was easy to bypass a lot of stuff.
I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of running through a game twice. I mean, like once I'm done with the game, I'm pretty much done with it, you know?
Yeah, no, I get you there.
Metal Gear.
You can sit down and have like 5 popcorn.
No. There are certain games I go back to. Certain games I don't.
Like Metal Gear.
You say
games. I say games, not movies.
No. Let me look. I call bullshit. I call bullshit. You mean to tell me when Delta comes out, you're gonna play Delta twice? You're gonna go through Delta once, and then you're gonna go back and restart Delta all over again right then and there?
Not right there and there. But I'm definitely going to replay it again.
Well, I mean, we all play games over, but it has to be like a certain time frame that goes back.
On average, no. On average, if we're being 100% honest, when we beat a game, that's it. If you go and check, your bought games, and I'm saying this to everyone in the chat and everyone here in the panel, if you go and check the games that you have bought over the years, you won't find more than 5 games that you have beat again, like 2 or 3 years later. Most of the time, that's it.
I was going to say in the last decade, it's probably like about 10 games that I've gone through and replayed in their entirety for a second time in the last decade.
Well, I mean, you look at the types of games, right? They're not like the back in the day Ninja Gaidens or Mega Man and stuff. These shits are like 50 plus hours, open world, or heaven forbid, demon, Souls like. Yeah.
You know what's really funny? The games that I play like that are the games that I'm more likely to replay. Like, I don't play a lot of those types of games. So the ones that like I'm still playing through Starfield again, and then I'm gonna go back and do it again. And I play through Mass Effect.
You're gonna play Starfield twice back to back.
You haven't seen how much time I have.
I did it.
Where the fuck
Listen,
are
Starfield
you
is
all this
special.
time?
Dude, Starfield is special, man. Come on.
But I mean,
I don't care how fucking special it is. How are you gonna go and play a $100 game just go back to play it another 100 fucking hours?
It depends on what you're doing.
You should see how many hours I have in it.
It's cool.
I've done Red Dead Redemption twice.
But like even on the logistics thing,
I
like
didn't even finish Red Dead.
I can't get past like an hour or two.
I mean, like you get done with a game that even if it let's not even say 100, let's just even say 30 fucking hours. You get done with a game with 30 fucking hours. What is going to compel you to go right back to that game?
It's like watching a movie. And once you know what you're doing,
dude.
yeah,
it depends on the games. If it's a game where you just really enjoy the gameplay loop, that could be a reason for people. If it's a game where narrative choices have branching different outcomes, so you want to go through and see the variations, that's possible. Like, there are multiple reasons why you would go through and play a game again.
And Triple, you're right. Like, it's faster once you actually know what
you're
doing.
Once you know what you're doing.
It's like Elden Ring. It took me like damn near almost 100 hours to beat it, and one of my playthroughs where I'm closest to finish is like 20 hours or something like that. Because I
have to admit, I'm fucking jealous. That's all I gotta say. I'm fucking jealous with everybody here. Like, you guys have the goddamn discretionary time to do all of that. Like,
I mean, to be fair though, most of the games I play are like significantly shorter indies. Like, most of the games I play will be like maybe 10 hours.
I mean, you get yourself a motorcycle.
Unless they're like roguelikes, which I just play forever. But yeah, most of the games I play are significantly shorter.
Well, but all right, I guess
just play Bloodborne 3 times like I did. Each ending is different, and each ending has its own boss fight. So there you go. There's a reason to play multiple times. You literally have to play 3 times, you get like 3 different bosses in Bloodborne. And Sekiro has
No,
like
I mean it's just.
too.
I mean, I think I did it back with the NES and Super NES when the games I couldn't buy my own games because I was too young and everything, and the games were being bought by my parents. So yeah, I would go back and play like Chrono Trigger twice because that was the only game I had at that time, or whatever, any new game and stuff. But now with the plethora of games out there, I'm like, geez, there's no fucking way. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Man, I can't tell you how many times I played fucking Hyperstone Heist on Sega Genesis when I was a kid, fucking bajillion times.
Or even like famously enough, like I mean, even how I know it was kind of janky, but like Sonic, the Sonic Adventure game, I played it like 2 or 3 times as well. So yeah, but then it was different back in the day. I mean, like
still going fast.
You were a kid, you had more time, buddy.
Yeah. All right, next, Nintendo layoffs. They've sort of laid off all of their game testers, mainly because they said that they don't have anything appreciable coming out this year, and the console's been delayed. Well, they didn't say the console was delayed because they've never even announced that there's a console. But the rumor is that the new console has been delayed till next year. So yeah, they're like, yeah, we don't need you. So anyone want to comment on that?
Yeah.
That's because their game testers aren't unionized yet. So,
well,
they're game testers, they're not programmers. I'm just making a point.
Yeah, but I don't know. It seems like, okay, yeah, I don't know what the fuck they're doing, and I understand their philosophy. Like I was watching a video that was explaining their design philosophy.
What?
And like even when Gunpei Yokoi made the first Game Boy, the motivation behind that console was, okay, they had these like really low spec PC chips, and they're like, okay, what can we do with this low spec PC chip without just throwing them away? And then Yokai, who was in R&D, tinkered around with it and said, hey, we can basically make some of these have a gaming experience, and that's famously where it came from. The philosophy was labeled new or something like repurposing old tech or something like that. So I think that's what they do. They just like looking at
ever shit like limitations, like spark innovation, shit like that. There's all kinds of weird sayings about shit like that.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, I get why they don't want to get into that power narrative. They don't really need to get into the power narrative, and in the past when they've tried the power narrative, it's never panned out for them. But
yeah, dude, they're making a killing selling the Switches. I gotta imagine the profit they make on each one of those is pretty substantial compared to what PlayStation and Xbox make off the consoles they're selling, which are they're just barely now starting to sell them for not a loss.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the point they've been losing for the whole time at Nintendo, basically. Even if it was a small amount of money they made on them at the beginning, and over time makes more, they've been making the whole time where everybody's trying to offset the loss, and they haven't even got to that point yet. And the software is what helps the other companies offset. Well, it helps everybody offset any loss, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but they've, as you said, historically never have sold their consoles for a loss. That's why I think for the most part, they always chase the lower power narrative because they can always get those chips for dirt cheap. I mean, look at what the fuck they did with the original Switch, so
the Wii, the
original
Switch,
the
original Switch was something in and of itself that they did for mobile, but the fucking Wii was really like the most. Fucking
right. That was like a fucking batshit crazy left field pitch. Like if I was in the room when someone pitched that, I'd be like, "Fucking jump out a window." Are you serious?
No, exactly.
But I mean, fuck, man.
GameCube and
it worked.
Put motion controls on it, and that's exactly what it did.
We'll sell it to millions of grandmas who will play fucking bowling once and never pick it up again, but it doesn't matter because we got their money. Yeah, that's pretty much what happened.
What's hilarious is you look at the specs; it literally was a GameCube. It's not a joke that it was. It was literally the same. They were like,
they've been carrying around the GameCube chip for a while now because I think what happened was like they had the GameCube, then they had the Wii, which was basically a variant of the GameCube, and then the Wii U, which was just a marginal.
It was a different chipset. It was a different chipset, but it did have backward compatibility that was built into it. But yeah, it was jumped around. It had more RAM. It had HD capabilities. But yeah,
Yeah, but it was like
how
a
many
very
people fucking
minor.
destroyed their TVs, throwing those fucking nunchucks at their TVs back.
No, remember that bullshit. Remember they had to like tell people to wear straps like before you started a game. The game itself told you to wear the fucking strap.
It came with it, but the funny thing is, I remember breaking the fucking strap. It was like tink. I'm like, Jesus Christ, it broke.
Well, oh well. Yeah, it was good for them, I guess, at the time. But I think they're going to get to a situation. Well, but we always say that now they have competitors that they got to answer to. But as we said earlier, I don't think that they need to worry about your Steam Decks and ROG allies because, as y'all said earlier, that their user base is so entrenched with the games that they're releasing that as long as they have a Mario and a Zelda, they don't have to worry about it. So.
Well, in some ways they do, in some ways they don't. But
at some point they will, because Mario and Zelda, and I've said it before, is built on that's the nostalgia thing. A lot of it, and at some point that's going to age out.
It's not going to sell as well at some point that it does now. It's honestly,
Do you think? I mean, honestly,
yes, dude. Because even you say your kids don't want to play those games; they want to play fucking Fortnite and Call of Duty.
Yeah, that's true.
So I mean, so yes. So
but then that's all my kids want to play. Period. These days. So yeah.
No, but that's what I'm saying is at some point the group that are keep passing down like Zelda and shit to their kids, those kids are going to age out and want to play something else, and at some point that cycle is going to slow down. It may never stop, but it's definitely going to slow down.
True.
Yeah.
Splatoon exists for a reason.
Right.
The whole Call of Duty, the whole like battle royale, or not battle royale, but team deathmatch kind of setup was kind of in response to what do we got to make that's going to compete, and they made it. It's different, but it was an answer to it, and it's done pretty well. It's not like the best selling thing ever, but it's done well for them.
Well, it has a rabid fan base. I mean,
oh yeah. Well, anything Nintendo does.
Yeah,
but at some point that curve will slow down.
Yes,
and you can say that things like the Rogue Ally and stuff aren't there. That will dent it at some point, because if people realize, okay, I can either play these 3 games or I can have access to these 50 or 60 games. At some point, that will start to make a difference.
Yeah, like how valuable is this Mario IP to me?
I think currently on the Switch, the best-selling game is Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's always been like that. It's always been like a Mario Kart's always been up there. So has Smash Brothers always been up there as well too. So yeah, those are always been their number 1 and number 2 and stuff. 2
of the biggest multiplayer games that they make.
Yep.
All right, next game that we heard about something about this week was a blip. CD Projekt Red came out and said that Witcher 4 is in active development. They got full like most of their teams are now working on that game, and it's called Witcher 4, and I think the code name is Polaris.
And everybody said no shit.
That way back. Didn't they do a whole report of the remake, and they were trying to do like a multiplayer thing? Like they announced that a while back. Don't forget, guys. Like
they're actually making a multiplayer component for that game.
I'll have to look over what they released. Like, was that last year?
I like Witcher as a single player game.
I have to look into it again, because I could have sworn they said they're working on some multiplayer project. I don't know if it was Witcher 4 related or just Witcher multiplayer, but I have to look into it.
I have no interest in cramming multiplayer features into predominantly single player games. I want my single player game,
especially a story driven game like that. It's like let's not screw that up.
Yeah, before they try a multiplayer component, I think they're probably going to try to incorporate stuff from Elden Ring or Dragon's Dogma 2, like I'm not saying they're going to just Xerox copy it, but I'm just saying that they might look at the success of these games and say,
why would they need to do that? Witcher 3 was off the chart after they got it all figured out. Why would they need to sit there and go, okay, now that's not good enough. Now we're gonna try adding this other stuff and try chasing that brass ring.
No, it's not that they're going to totally abandon Witcher 3, the Witcher 3 formula, and just totally embrace Elden Ring or Dragon's Dogma. I think what you're going to see is they're going to be, for the most part, I think it's going to be like 3, but I think they're going to have components that,
Why? What makes you think that? I mean, what is in your head that making you think that may happen? I'm genuinely curious.
Well, I mean, just generally speaking, all these AAA games are sort of converging to the same bullshit, right? Like this open world RPG mechanic type bullshit. So, why not? That's what I'm thinking. Because I mean, I think all the games are sort of converging to the same type of game, if you want to say it for that much. So.
Witcher 3 was already kind of that type of game. I mean, why they don't need to do any more than what they've done.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but I still think that they're going to probably look at... They can't just release more Witcher 3, right? I mean, I think they're going to have to do something.
Why?
Well, they are making Witcher 1 remake as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They've been talking about that for a while now.
Yep.
Oh, okay, cool.
Hopefully they'll clean up some of the bugs that were in Witcher 1 and 2 that they never did fix.
Oh, you guys said about the Yeah, I'm looking over. So yeah, they had their when did this article go out? This article went out 2022, and they put out like a whole roadmap with Sirius, which is I think that's the remaster, or it's either I don't know, Sirius. And they got the new Witcher trilogy coming out, and they got Canis Majoris, whatever, and they have a new IP coming out. So they announced it
they're busy.
a while back.
They're busy.
They're working. They're working right now.
Okay, well that. My wife is cooking,
Canis
so unfortunately
Major.
that she's blending shit in the back. Sorry about the noise, but
You
anyhow.
can blend chicken nuggets.
I don't know what she's doing. I think some fish or something.
Real quick, so it says in a tweet by CD Projekt Red is that they're Sirius is the code name for a game. I don't know if that's still in development because I think Molasses had an issue, but it said it's set in the Witcher universe created with support from CDPR. It will offer from our past production, offering a multiplayer gameplay on top of a single player experience. So that's their Sirius code name that's being worked on by Molasses. So yeah, there's a Witcher multiplayer game of sorts unless something's changed.
So does this mean that we're not like, okay, so they moved all of their teams, or do they have like a situation where like they do still have somebody tinkering with Cyberpunk, or have they sort of closed or shuttered like all major DLCs?
No, I'm sure
stuff?
they still have a small team working on Cyberpunk.
Yeah, I don't think they're doing any. Didn't they say Phantom Limbery was like the only major expansion they were going to do? Because I know they had a multiplayer component. They said early on, and they scrapped that. So yeah, at this point, it's just updates.
The only team they would keep would be for bug fixes and things.
They're done with Cyberpunk.
They have
major updates.
Yeah, at least with 2077, the sequel, I'm assuming, which is Orion, is that they put out their roadmap as well. So
they got the Cyberpunk IP, they got the Witcher IP, and
they have a new IP. There's a new IP. It's just a Hadar. How do you pronounce that? New IP from. So they got a new IP. I don't remember if they expanded on that.
I don't know. It would be interesting to see like somebody like CD Projekt Red maybe even be given, now that Larian is done with it, maybe be given the reins of D&D and see what they can come up with. I mean, I know Witcher 3 is really close to that, or Witcher is close to that, but it would be nice to see it, like what they're
handful.
There's a whole lot of licensing shit that goes on with D&D, dude. There is a whole lot of shit that goes on with.
Well, I mean, Wizards of the Coast must look at the success of Baldur's Gate 3 and say, okay, we need another Baldur's Gate or something of that ilk.
Yeah,
so.
but they aren't the only ones that hold all the rights to that. Some of the rights are somewhat tied up still with certain aspects of the family and stuff. So.
Oh, you mean Gary Gygax?
Yeah. Though more his ex-wife and stuff, if I recall correctly.
Oh, okay.
Or his widow. Because not with the boys, his boys, who I know both of them.
Oh, really? You know them personally?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I went to Gary Con twice and stuff, and yeah.
Oh, cool.
So Ernie's not involved at all with the company, and Luke is involved tangentially with some of that stuff.
All right. The next topic is something for everybody here. Like, I know you guys might want to talk about it. There's a new patch or a new update for Dragon's Dogma 2 that allows you to lock it at 30 frames per second on consoles and allows you to remove the ray tracing. What do y'all think? Is that going to help?
The biggest thing for me is the fact that we're going to be able to create a new save after we've started a game, because that shit grows old really quick.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
unfortunately, we plan on Xbox. Got to wait for the patch to come out. So
couple of
sad
days.
face. I know they said that the changes that they implemented weren't really targeting the FPS. That's going to be a patch that comes out later, I believe, is what they said. So
this is more quality, some basic quality of life stuff.
Well, basic quality of life and like was it motion blur? There's a couple of things
turning motion blur
were graphic affected. Yeah, that would make things a little clearer.
And I always turn off motion blur when I can, because it does help improve the throughput on the graphics.
I actually don't even like motion blur, to be honest with you. It always annoys me whenever I see it. So I always try to.
It doesn't bug me, but it does affect frame rate and stuff a little bit.
Yeah, I can.
Oh, well, I got a tweet from Wario64 that says that physical copies of Stellar Ass has gone live. So if you want to pre-order a physical copy of Stellar Blade, now is the time for you to do it. And speaking of Stellar Blade, a little demo dropped. I use the word little ironically. Yeah. So has anyone had a chance to play it?
I watched my roommate play it just a little bit ago before I got on the stream. So yeah,
cool.
It looks cool. Yeah.
Super. Go ahead. Care to elaborate?
Well, I mean, I watched him. It was cool. I mean, the Jiggly was Jiggly. You know.
There you go. I you know,
awfully specific.
Yeah. To that guy that was like, hey, I'm gonna actually show gameplay, not just jiggle physics. Thank you, I appreciate it, man. I like the jiggle too, but I want to see some actual gameplay, not just the jiggle. Like there's someone that just posted a whole video of her just flipping on a pole. It's like, so like, what else is there to the game, guys?
I don't know how well I'm gonna be able to play it because some of the controls are a little bit of XXY, left shoulder button, right shoulder, type stuff. We'll see. Yeah.
So, Suba, you actually played it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how does it control? Like, can you elaborate about this game? Because I don't know how is it more akin to like a Dark Souls, or is it more akin to like a Devil May Cry, or
no?
Like,
it's
circle
is
your
closer.
left, circle is your left, boob, square is your right. Come on.
Yeah. And if you press both the shoulder buttons, you make her clap with her not with her hands. No, it's definitely more along the lines of like a Devil May Cry than a Dark Souls.
Yeah.
But there's still you're going to be doing a lot of dodging and blocking or parrying and perfect blocking and shit like that. It's not a game where you're going to just have button mash either.
No.
You're going to have to learn combos and be paying attention and dodging at certain points when there's visual
dodge
inputs.
Is very important.
Right.
Parrying and perfect dodge are very important.
Yeah, I hear someone compared it to Sekiro. So
it's I mean, in terms of having it focus a lot on like the blocking and parrying, but in terms of difficulty, no, it's definitely far more forgiving than those games. And also like I was saying at the very beginning of the stream, I also found that like it felt slower than I was expecting. Like everything, the movement, the combat is a lot slower than I was expecting. It took me a while just to get kind of used to it because I'm expecting everything to happen faster, and all the animations are just slower than I'm expecting them to be. But it was cool. There's exploration and shit like you would expect. It's very much like a Devil May Cry game, but the combat
I never played Devil May Cry, but it has the resting system is like Jedi Fallen Order, Jedi Survivor. If you rest, that's all of the bad guys.
It's like a Souls like in that respect. You throw a coin in the fucking vending machine and then you sit on the bench. It's so weird.
Well, the gameplay reminds me a lot of Bayonetta, so
much slower than something like a Bayonetta, but it is something like that. And the boss fight, because it obviously ends on a boss fight. It's something like you would probably expect in like a Bayonetta or a Devil May Cry. I think if you like those games, and you can deal with how much slower the combat is, I think it's something that you would probably be interested in.
Okay. Well, look, are you interested in playing this game for obvious reasons?
Yes, definitely interested. I've already downloaded the demo. I just haven't had the time to get into it. But as soon as we leave this podcast, that's what I'm going to do.
My question is this. No, I just want to put this out there, okay? Loke has, like everybody else here, has played games while on the podcast. This game, he wants to wait until he's off the podcast.
Oh my God.
Full time. Why is that?
He's got to look over every inch and detail of the game.
Listen. Listen, you need to
He's
have
going to be sitting there going left titty, right titty, left titty, right titty. Yeah.
the story context. Okay, you need to be. I need to immerse myself within the yams or in between them.
You're in the story. You're into the story. That's like back in the day saying, "Oh yeah, I'm reading this I bought the magazine for the articles, right? That's why." So
hey, Playboy has
the plot is very good. The plot is very good. I tell you what, though.
From what I see, her friend is hotter than she is.
That's what I thought. Honestly, that's what I thought too.
Yeah.
And she's got like bigger assets.
I gotta.
They just wanted to. Because they probably wanted you to not be too distracted.
God damn it, Cozy. Don't be jealous.
But the ass is about the same size, Cozy, and the ass is what's in your face most of the time. The demo was also a pretty good size. I was surprised with how long the demo was.
But on a serious note, if it doesn't play well, then I'm not gonna play it just for the assets. I'm sorry.
You've already bought it for the assets. So
I saw someone complain. Come on, Cozy. I saw someone complaining that it's like super slow. I think it was you, Triple. Someone was complaining.
It was Super.
I saw someone talk about it as well, but it wasn't.
I mean, I didn't say it was super slow. It was just slower than you play a game like Devil May Cry, and that's fucking as fast as you're tapping the button, as fast as your person's doing shit. And in this, it's you tap square really fast. She's only going to do the animations at the speed she's going to do them. You're not going to be doing crazy fast.
Yeah, the trailers did look faster. The trailers definitely look faster. At least.
Yeah, if it's too focused on being pretty over gameplay, then I'm good. I'll play Rise of Ronin. Because the main thing, in my opinion, is the gameplay, right? And then everything around it adds to it, right? So the main thing is, will I enjoy pressing buttons on this thing for 2 hours every single day when I come back from work or not? Because if not, I'd rather just go back to playing Darkest Dungeon, because that game is awesome.
I mean, the combat's cool, Loke, and like it's satisfying when you're hitting your parries and your perfect dodges and stuff. Like the input you're getting on the controller and the visual shit. Like
it's smooth though.
There's a satisfaction. Yeah.
Do you not feel like a tank? You don't feel like a tank.
No, I mean, like again, your character is moving slower than I expected, but I don't feel like I'm moving like I'm in a fucking Gears of War game. Where
here's a good example. Here's a good comparison. Callisto Protocol. Are you as stiff as that dude on Callisto Protocol?
Not Callisto.
No. The one area, the demo where I was like, this isn't the greatest, is the platforming type shit, like the climbing.
Yeah, I saw some of that. Looked a little
that stuff. It is a little janky. Like jumping to rebar sticking out of buildings and like swinging from it. Like it's very like you would expect from a lot of Japanese games. Always have weird jankiness when it comes to certain things, and that
reminded me of Assassin's Creed, but I don't think it's quite as finicky as Assassin's Creed is.
I think Assassin's Creed feels smoother and more intuitive than it does in this game. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know what you were saying. But yeah,
that's where I was going. Is it just Assassin's Creed seems to do it a bit better from what I can tell just by watching.
I would agree with that for sure. So I'm just hoping that's not a major part of the game, even though it's probably about half what you're doing in the demo. But
Loke, RPG88 just insulted you. He said in combat you won't be watching the jiggle. So he's saying that you can't multitask. So
it's too bad.
It's cool.
It's really too bad.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I got to be honest. I didn't notice any jiggle when I was playing because I was focusing on everything else.
Yeah, but that's because Team Ninja didn't make it. That's the problem, So if Team Ninja made it, then everything will fucking jiggle, and that's what you want. But isn't this game was actually made by the same people who made Nier Automata?
No.
Never insult.
Yeah.
Wow. The weebs reacted immediately. No. The weebs, the two weebs in the show reacted very
quickly. Way of life.
But published by
konnichiwa, Cozy.
Their game that I may or may not be playing at the moment because Anime Waifu's it's like a mobile gacha game called Nikkei. So they branched out from that and produce this Stellar Blade. So that's what surprised me. Is like, oh, this AFK game is being made by those, or this action game is made by this. They made an AFK waifu game. Oh, okay. So yeah.
Is that was that their last game before this?
I had to look up their development history. But yeah, they're going from mobile game to a full console PC release. I think this might be their first one doing something like that.
Well, how does it run? Like, I mean, obviously this is a beta or whatever this is. It's still a month out. I presume it probably would be the full variant that
it ran fine. The other thing that was kind of annoying was you I don't know what it's still everybody's multi-platform, right?
It's on PlayStation. I'm not sure if it's on PC.
I don't think so. I think it's PC and PlayStation. I don't think it's Xbox.
Okay, well then never mind. What I was going to say on PlayStation, you hit your touchpad and you have like a little drone that's with you that does like a scan of the environment to help see like where enemies are or where chests are or parts of the environment you can climb on. But the thing is, like when you press it, you can't press it and then immediately press it again. It's like you press it and then you got to fucking wait X amount of seconds to press it again, and it's one of those games where like you're gonna want to be pressing it to see where shit's at. I don't know. Like I was like, I'm not really digging this shit.
That reminds me that seems the same type of gameplay loop as Forbidden West, where you had to press that little button to see the little yellow lines or whatever, some shit like that or something.
Yeah, and I for me personally, I always end up finding myself fucking hitting the scan button like every 6 seconds to make sure I'm not missing anything, missing loot. Because that's the other thing. Like when you kill enemies, they drop whatever currency or loot or whatever the fuck they drop, and just simply walking over that shit doesn't collect it. You have to actually hold R2 as you're walking over it, or you don't collect it. And some of the smaller ones, and some of the smaller ones that don't make a lot of light, you could easily miss. So you'll scan shit and then be like, oh, there's a little currency thing way the fuck over there I missed because I wasn't holding R2 as I walked over the corpse of the enemy I just defeated. Like weird things like that, where it's like it's just odd. So like I found myself hitting the scan button to make sure I wasn't missing anything or leaving anything behind after I fought enemies, and having that delay of not being able to press it and press it again. It's just little things like that where I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna enjoy this 5-6 hours in.
Were you able to tinker with the controls? Because sometimes games have that mechanic where you have to press a button to pick it up, but sometimes you can do an auto toggle type situation.
I never really look at it like Jesus Christ, accessibility options. There may be an option like that because I know that they have options like that in other games. So I just didn't look. I never really
slacker. You didn't look at the accessibility.
I'm sorry, Paul. I can use my hands. My bad.
And that's the main thing. He was busy using his hands for other things. So there you go.
Well, yes.
Yeah. But no, I'll check.
All right. But is it to everyone here, do y'all think this is a day one, or is this something that you probably should wait for a sale on?
Which game are we talking about?
Stellar
Blade.
Yeah, Stellar Blade.
I
like that,
motherfucker.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll probably get a day one, but after playing the demo, I wasn't like, oh yeah, fucking day one. I didn't walk away from the demo like that, but I was like, I mean, there's nothing else coming out next month, really. I don't think that I can think of. So if there's nothing else out, and I'll probably be there day one. But walking away from the demo, I wasn't like, "Oh fuck, son! Like you need to check this shit out." Like it wasn't like that.
But so it's basically a game. Cool. It was a decent AA game, if you would say.
It's AAA.
It's AAA.
Yeah, I think it's AAA. I mean, it feels like a little more AA, especially with how linear it is. But again, I don't know how much more it's going to open up or bigger it may get once we get into the actual game. It's just a fucking demo.
Yeah. But all AAA games have to be over shoulder narrative driven, sad battle simulation.
Well, sometimes some companies, like especially if there's their new IP, sometimes the demo is the full game, and like when you buy the game, it just unlocks everything else in the demo, basically. So
No, I'm assuming that the demo is a portion of the game that's probably a little further in that they pulled out, because after you get through the main area, you have a major boss fight, and obviously it ends after the major boss fight. After that boss fight, it's showing now clips of the game, almost like you're watching a trailer. And I saw the boss fight that I just did, but the character had significantly more health and abilities than I had running through the demo. So,
So So RPG 88 says it doesn't matter really with it being a single player story based game. Is there much of a story?
Check out the trailer they put out.
No,
I think so.
Every time I see that goddamn trailer, I can't go beyond seeing what I see. So
at least the plot is, and this is probably why you reference near, it's very near-ish where humanity's like on the brink of extinction, and you had this special force tasked with destroying aliens that are invading the world. So, I mean, it's got a plot. If it pans out well, who knows? But yes, there's a story to it, and not just look at these cheats and play game. Like,
I mean, like your character has never even been to Earth before. Like, this is her first time on Earth. Like, she is mesmerized by rain. Oh, Jesus Christ!
It's a goddamn story. Nobody's gonna care. I mean, most of the time, people who are gonna, let's be honest, the people who are gonna buy this game ain't interested in the story. Or at least I ain't. And most of the people are interested in something else.
I'm divulging information given in the demo. I don't really count that shit as spoilers. So, I mean, that's a good thing for people that are curious. Fucking demo's free. Download it and try it.
All right.
Well, yeah. See, this is the reason why I'm probably not gonna play Dragon's Dogma 2, because I'm finishing up Rebirth, and I'm also playing Octopath Traveler 2 at the same time because wow, that game, I love the music in that game. And third pass through it, by the way. And then I got...
Isn't this the man that just said I don't go back and replay games?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Because I want to listen to the music. I'm not really playing the game per se. I'm just
Hypocrita.
I like the music. I do enjoy the music. I mean, Octopath Traveler 2's music is like, I've never heard of it. Let's put it this way. I can't think of anything better at this point in time, at this juncture. Now, memory could be failing me as to which another game being better, but I think Octopath Traveler 2 has one of the best scores out there. But so the problem is that I can't get into Dragon's Dogma 2 because by the time Stellar Blade comes out, I won't be done with Dragon's Dogma 2. So I was telling Locus, I said, okay, so I guess after Rebirth, I'll start Ronin. And I think Ronin is about a 40-hour experience at best?
Yeah.
It depends on how you
really stretch it out.
Yeah. If you're just going through the story, maybe, but if you do like everything on the map, that's gonna be longer, obviously.
Yeah, well, I would say about 40, 50 hours, but it's definitely not the length of a Dragon's Dogma 2, you would say, right?
Oh, fuck no.
Okay. So yeah, then like by the time I get done with Ronin, Blade will be out, and then play Blade, and then it'll come back. And no, shit, I just found out today that they're releasing a Eiyuden Chronicles 100 Heroes on Xbox Game Pass, and
those words mean nothing to me.
Those words mean nothing to you because any of y'all heard of a game back in the day, PlayStation 1 game called Suikoden?
Suikoden, yeah.
Suikoden, yeah, that's basically the same developers. You were saying?
Okay. No, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm a JRPG fan, so yeah, Suikoden is. I'm looking forward to that, so I'm looking for this one.
He did it again.
What?
Yeah,
Suikoden or whatever you want to fucking call it.
Oh, that was good.
No.
Well, I'm gonna show you something else on camera. Okay.
Oh no! Don't do that. Don't say.
Speaking of stellar ass, I'm gonna show you my stellar ass on camera. Okay, there you go. All right. You were saying?
No, I was gonna say we're not gonna see anything anywhere. Most of us are on monitors.
Anyhow. All right, next. Let's talk about Star Wars Outlaws. Have y'all seen the new I'm not gonna say it's new, it's been out for a couple of weeks. We've just not had a chance to talk about it. It's the deep I do not want to say deep dive, but it's a deeper dive than what was initially shown on launch.
I have not.
Explaining the mechanics of everything. It's a lot like it seems a lot like it does seem a lot like not Elden Ring, but Assassin's Creed and everything, where you're gonna have different factions and you're gonna have to like be in touch or like be support one faction, and then doing what you do makes you lose favor in one faction to gain favor in another faction and all that other stuff. I don't see any lightsabers.
Like the Star Wars universe. Yeah.
Yeah,
well, yeah, because not everybody in the galaxy is fucking force sensitive, and they don't have to be.
But I think that's good though. I mean, I'm
No,
tired of like
100%.
playing the
No, it
same
is,
bullshit,
yeah.
you know.
100%.
I mean, so it seems intriguing enough to me because, like I was saying, that I like the fact that they had the courage to sort of step away from the tried and true. You're a Jedi. You might be a Sith. Here's your lightsaber. You know, you're force sensitive or whatever. Blah 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 blah. They're trying and they're letting you play as basically a Han Solo type character. So yeah. And you have to deal with factions, and one of the factions is going to be Jabba the Hutt's faction as well. So that's pretty cool as well. So yeah, any of y'all see that deeper dive that they had or that showed all that other stuff?
I haven't watched it yet. No, but
I haven't.
Sounds
Do you
interesting,
know where, like, what YouTube channel it would be on, or was it like IGN or like Games Radar?
It was on IGN. Hold on, let me check. Hold on.
But it does sound a little bit like what they did in the first massively multiplayer Star Wars game, where you basically picked your factions and stuff in that game as well.
I think that's cool, man. I like games where the decisions you make actually have an effect on the world around you and the shit that you do. Even back like in Knights of the Republic, you know, something as simple as going to the light side or dark side and having it affect your character and your abilities and your look. Like even something that simple it's interesting.
Well, I'm posting the link in the chat, so you
cool.
can look it up. Yeah, there you go.
Appreciate you, sir.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, to be honest, see, this doesn't make sense to me. Like everyone complains about the Ubisoft formula, but then people are intrigued about wanting to do the same formula but in a different setting. I don't understand the logic of that, but oh well.
Because it's not that the formula itself is bad. Like it's when it comes to Ubisoft specifically, it's just that it's getting old in the way that they're doing it. Like there's other games that do something similar where it just doesn't feel as tired as a Ubisoft game. You know, it's hard to explain, at least for me, because there's lots of games where I'll play where there's collectathons and shit all over the map, but they don't rub me in the same way negatively that Assassin's Creed games of late have been rubbing me.
Yeah.
Or Far Cry's.
Yeah, I could see that. I could probably say, okay, what may work in another genre might not work. Being exposed to the same thing over and over again, like Assassin's Creed, maybe see the same formula in something else.
Right. And I mean, you can have a bunch of shit all over the map as long as the shit all over the map are interesting things to do. Not like, fucking go collect me 6 rocks and come back. Like, fuck that. I don't give a shit about stuff like that. If there's interesting side quests and missions to do.
I don't care about the small ones so much as I care about there's 4,000 flags on this map and you need to go collect them all. No, I don't. Never will I need to collect them all. Never will I
can't tell me what to do.
Well, you know, of significance, they did mention that there are going to be multiple planets, but none of those planets are going to be randomly generated. They're all crafted planets. So they may not be as many, but all of them are going to be like
They're probably going to be Star Wars based, like Kashyyyk and Alderaan.
Tatooine.
Well, Alderaan's going to be a rock, but a lot of rocks.
What in the fuck is going on? I'm sorry. I'm playing Dragon's Dogma, I'm trying to ride the ox cart, and the NPC is bugging the fuck out. He's like climbing on random boxes. He's like, all right, time to go. I was like, bro, what are you doing? You're supposed to be driving this thing. Oh my God. And he's just, oh my, yeah. Sorry.
I mean, I like this design that they chose because like I'm really getting tired of these open world games or open zone games that are open just to be open, to say that we've achieved a certain size and there's nothing really to do.
But see, it's just like it's the same reason it kind of works with Jedi Fallen Order. Star Wars is a set universe.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to throw in randomly generated planets and go, "Hey, you've never heard of this before." But, you know.
Bro, the NPC just did the animation to climb on the ox cart. He was doing it he was doing mid-air, like some freaking mime stuff. He just floated in the air. I'm sorry, I'm mute myself now.
Video games, they are great.
The greatest.
Sorry, Cerebral. Go ahead, man. Sorry.
I don't know, what was I talking about? Anyway, so I'm not surprised that they're not going to be procedurally generated. I'm sure they're going to have very specific things to do on each of those planets that are game related. or faction related, because
Mhm.
they're gonna go pin the tail on Jar Jar Binks. It's gonna be my favorite side game.
Praxis, do you have any interest in this game? Not heard from you in a minute.
Not so much. Come on.
No, not much. Not a Star Wars fan.
That Darth Praxis. Oh, not a Star Wars fan. Yeah, that Darth.
Not a
part of
Star
the
Wars
game
fan.
was a clue.
I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Just nothing.
He's strictly a Star Trek guy. That's all.
Star Trek.
That's right. That's right. That's where the praxis comes from. So
Yeah, I know it is. I know the energy producing moon of the
correct.
And it's also the test that you have to take to get a teacher's license, but that's a different story. Anyhow.
I'm interested in what I've seen, but I don't know. There's so many games. I just feel like it's like a barrage of shit and trying to keep up with everything. I'm just trying to stick with what I'm playing now.
Well, all right. It's kind of funny
bullshit.
that you said.
As soon as this game drops, you're getting it.
Oh, yeah.
Know it. I know it.
We're all. I mean, who here is probably not going to get it? Probably Cozy. Cozy, you're probably not going to get this game, right? Day one.
Because there's no body pillows in it.
Exactly. There you go. So,
well, Jabba the Hutt's kind of like a body pillow. He's just kind of slimy. But...
Would someone let her answer? I actually want to know if Cozy is going to get this game.
Cozy, you still there?
Cozy's playing with her parakeet. Is that what they call it these days?
No, bro. Those are cockatiels. I don't know. I don't know what it
cockatiels. Okay.
I forgot what a bird looks like.
All right. So yeah, speaking of too many games, Outlaws is the last. I know there's Outlaws and there's Wukong. Is there anything else that has been announced for the latter part of this year that is anything significant per se?
Isn't that Judas game come out this year?
I don't.
Yeah,
think,
I thought Judas was later this year too, but
was it? I thought it was 2025.
Was it 2025?
I know I think Scale Up did a preview or something like that. I didn't look into it, so I don't know if it is.
I saw the preview, and it's basically, for all intents and purposes, BioShock, which ain't a bad thing because it's been a while since we've had it.
It's space BioShock. I'm fucking down for that.
Oh,
yeah, me too. I'm all
every
over
single
that.
trailer. I see the trailer like this is like BioShock. Fuck yeah, sign me up.
I think the good thing that they did was that they did not sort of like milk that freaking franchise, and you're like, oh my god, not another fucking BioShock. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the last. When was Infinite released? BioShock Infinite was like,
dude, probably 10 years ago. Let me look it up.
It's been a minute. It's been a long minute since we've had.
I'll be the panel's oracle.
The Oracle of Delphi. You got to watch dance around naked and smoke.
March 26th. I meant like fucking Batman Oracle.
Okay.
March 26th, 2013. She sits up in the fucking in the clock tower, and she's in a wheelchair. Just saying.
I thought you were talking about the Oracle of Delphi from 300. Yeah.
No.
I'm like, I'd be intrigued. I mean, I'm
just gonna call him Barbara from now on.
No, it was March 26, 2013, so effectively a decade ago.
And the funny thing is this, right? Like, it did well. So did the BioShock 1 and to a certain extent 2. But then nobody else ever sort of capitalized on that gameplay loop. Like, they waited until Ken Levine wanted to come back to the industry to give another one. So I like that, and I'm kind of surprised that nobody ripped him off or basically
there's
imitated
that Xbox
them.
game coming out that looks like fucking BioShock Infinite. Right. What's it called? Like Clockwork something?
Clockwork Revolution.
Yeah.
That shit looks a lot like BioShock
really wasn't, was it?
Yeah.
Atomic Heart was very
they had
much
like some plasmid style abilities, but not But
there
wasn't a find a girl, find a lighthouse shit going on or anything like that. They had killer robots and stuff, crazy people.
Yeah,
I thought
it was cool, but it wasn't on the level. Like it was trying to be like that or inspired by that, but clearly not on the same level as any of the BioShock games.
See, the beauty of BioShock and Infinite was that like they gave you a finite amount of powers, and the beauty of it was that you could juggle around or mix these different powers up and everything and be able to do different things with it. And so I like that type of gameplay with it. So.
I don't know. My favorite thing about BioShock was welcome to a circus of value and come back when you get some money, Sonny, or some shit.
Well, yeah, no, but like for example, like the characters in Infinite were iconic. Like you had that big Abraham Lincoln robot, and you had a George Washington robot.
All I know is that in Judas, you better not be the bad guy by the end of the fucking game.
Oh, yeah, it's kind of irritating, but
that was both.
I wouldn't be surprised if it turns into one of those. Was it the whole thing is like people are what's that word, brainwashed or something like that, where it's like, oh, you're living in a fake fantasy utopia or something like that. And the question, I'm like, would it have been better to leave society as is, even if they were trapped in a dream? Like maybe is that the conflict I'm gonna have run into the story? That's my guessing, but who knows?
Yeah, but I mean, still, either way, I'm thinking for some reason 2025 keeps coming back in my mind. Maybe I'm wrong or something, but
hold on, let me oracle it on.
And I mean, you got this game. Well,
March 2025.
That's what I thought. I thought it was 2025. So that Judas is not going to be here. So that leaves Outlaws.
Let me see. Major games releasing 2024
and Wukong. If we're ever going to see that, if that game even fucking exists and is not a goddamn demo of some kind sitting there.
I'm sure we'll see those two.
Well, I mean,
so games we're looking at: Dragon's Dogma 2 already came out. Princess Peach Showtime came out. Unknown 9 Awakening. I don't know what the fuck that is. Avowed, but I don't think they gave a definitive release date on that. Yeah. Same with Senua's Saga. Same with Star Wars Outlaws. Did they give a definitive date on that?
They just said 2024. That's all.
Okay, so yeah, so those
those are. So I'm betting that's going to be fall 2024. Is going to be my bet.
Tales of Kenzura's out. I don't know what the fuck that is. Yuden Chronicle, Stellar Blade, Destiny 2: The Final Shape is in June. Frostpunk 2 in July. Black Myth Wukong is August. There's a lot of games. Battle Crush, Contra. That one already came out.
We're talking about like some of the major ones, like
Indiana Jones is supposedly this year. Let me see. Sonic X Shadow Generations, Silent Hill 2 Remake, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, Rise of Dawn already came out. Cat Quest Pirates of the Caribbean. Come on, guys. Concord, John Carpenter's Toxic Command. They're making a fucking Toxic Commando game? What the fuck?
It's gonna be a shit show.
The Plucky Squire, GTA 6. Okay, these are next year now.
Well, see, and that's the interesting thing, right? Like, okay, apart from like Wukong and Judas, which I presume is going to be multi-plat, even though it was shown on the Xbox showcase thing.
Oh, yeah, Black Myth Wukong is. I would assume that's multi-plat.
So my question is, like, it seems pretty. I mean, because you got Xbox, who's got like, for example, Indiana Jones and Avowed and Hellblade 2, and you can argue about how popular or how big of a name those are, but they at least got some content. It just seems PlayStation is awfully dry and awfully quiet, apart from knowing that they're going to release potentially a pro variant of their console. It's all quiet, basically, and they're not really speaking or saying much, So,
dude, but they're working on shit. I just wish they would fucking say again. We always have this fucking conversation every fucking week. It's like we know they're working on games. We know in some cases studios have multiple teams working on multiple games. I think either Santa Monica or Naughty Dog, one of them said they're working on multiple new single player games right now, new IPs. And it's like, great. Can we get a name? Can we get like does it take place in Fantasyland?
I'm fine with them. Just take your time. We don't want another rare situation with Everwild. Like, yeah, Everwild, what's it about? We don't know, but here's
but this is different. We're talking about games that are probably 3 to 4 years within their dev cycle. Like, I'm sure they can tell us what the fuck the game at least is called. Like this.
Well, I'm not even worried about their first party offerings. We've already sort of talked about that to death. But
and what are you asking about?
The second party, like for example, historically in the past, when PlayStation didn't have when they had a lackluster first party lineup for a year, they would leverage that with second party, which one could argue that they've already released the majors of their second party being Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and
Rise of the Ronin,
and Stellar Blade. But the latter half,
Helldivers 2.
Well, the latter half seems kind of.
It's a lot of games, dude.
Yeah.
That's a lot of games.
I'm not saying it's not a lot of games. I'm just saying that gaming
they're getting Sea of Thieves. Don't forget that. Yeah.
Oh, get the hell out of here. Also, all this rubbish about if a game's second party, does it really count? Yes, it fucking does.
If I have
I
a game to
did
play, it
spend
counts. If I have a game
$60. Thank you. I did spend $60 to $70. I did spend 60 to 100 hours playing it. Yes, it does count. I don't like this separation of all first party, second party, third party. Dude, is it a game? Is it playable? Is it fun? If you have a check mark on all those questions, it is a net positive to whatever platform it's exclusive to.
I'm with you. I don't get behind this first party, third. It's like if I have a game to play, I don't go, well, I need more first party because man, even though I have 37 third party games to play,
No, but I mean, at the same
Elden Ring
again,
is one of the best games I've ever played. Is it now worthless? The fact that I played it on Xbox, does that have zero value because it's not an Xbox exclusive?
No. All I'm saying is that it seems really quiet from that side of the camp.
And that's been
that's fucking quiet as shit.
Quiet, bruv. There's so many games to play. The only people that should be worried about first party, second party, third party is PlayStation themselves. We should be worried about having fun, motherfuckers. Let's focus, please.
Okay, so you speaking of first party, third party, all that bullshit. Christopher Dean came out and said that their journalist said that
Drake's an idiot, dude. I knew you were going to bring this crap up.
That's why I waited till the tail end of this show to bring this bullshit up. That's why I
pointed
did
that out on your post too. You shouldn't be. He's only, the fact that Icon Era uses him as a source is not a good clue. Okay.
Well, for those of you who
Someone
do not
does
know
not
what
like this guy. Who is this guy?
For those of you who do not know what he said that in GDC there was a buzz going around that a lot of third-party developers are wondering why they're even making an Xbox variant because they're so behind.
By the way, when he said a lot, he meant one. Okay, he spoke to one guy. He spoke to. It's
one of those stories where it's like it was one dude 1 minute,
and any of the developers that they've been able to name or games they've been able to name, it's like, who the fuck is that? Like, I don't know who the fuck that person is. They're smaller devs, if those devs even said it.
When people dug into the background, they found out it was one guy. It was not multitudes or many or even a few. It was one. Okay, it was the guy's a drip. The guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that I'm getting tired of the whole fucking narrative. Like.
Well, you keep bringing it into the show.
I'm bringing it up because it's just a talking point for just for completeness sake. I mean, I'm just getting annoyed with when it comes to PlayStation. It's okay. What games are they doing? Whether it's this, they're doing Xbox. Are they even gonna be here a year from now? What the fuck, dude? Shut the fuck up. Come on now. So it's like always that. There's never like, okay, Xbox. Maybe a deep dive into Avowed or somebody going in and talking to, I don't know, the Indiana Jones developers or Bethesda saying, okay, give us the details of this game or what sets this game apart. No, it's always Xbox is going third party. Xbox is leaving. And I have most of my feeds, most of my feed from Twitter is our friends that are Xbox centric, but I still keep getting these bullshit articles.
Xbox also exacerbates shit like that with wishy-washy messaging and like they never say anything was like definitive, foot down, this is what it is, no questions asked, no asterisks next to this, like this is what it is, end of story. Yeah. They don't do that, and they cause the shit to just keep going and going. Even when they came out and they had that thing about it's only 4 games going multi-plat, it's not going to be Indiana Jones, not going to be Starfield. They got done doing that, and the second it was done, there were still a whole bunch of fucking questions and more questions now. It's like they solved a small problem, but then created more because their messaging is just all over the fucking place.
Instead of
we never have these questions about PlayStation and Nintendo.
Praxis, you were saying? Hold on.
I'm just saying. I just wish they had more balls. I wish they would just stand up and, like you said, and just say what needs to be said, and not have anything that you could question it. Just it's clear as day, and go, that's what we're gonna do. And people,
but that's probably never gonna happen because if they do that. And then say they change their mind 2 years from now, everybody goes, but 2 years ago he said this. Well, that was 2 years ago because that's one of the issues I have with a lot of the stuff that always comes up.
Well, it's a business, right? Like, as you said, it's a business. It's something that they have to evaluate on a quarter to quarter, year to year, whatever to whatever metric. And things change because businesses change. I mean, like, you know, pre-COVID, nobody knew the whole fucking country was going to be shut down. So, you know, yeah. I mean, things happen. It's a business. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just like RPGA says, do they have to yell 24/7 Wize? I'm not saying that they have to keep saying an answer to this bullshit, but I'm just saying I'm getting tired of the goddamn narrative over and over again. Like, you know, with PlayStation, why is it like when it comes to PlayStation, whatever games they have, there's, you know, these not publishers, but these journalists are going in and talking about a deep dive into the game or, you know, this thing or that thing. And it's like always game. Same thing with Nintendo. It's like whenever they have something to say, people are going in and talking about the game or whatever. But when it comes to Xbox, it's always, are they going to be here a year from now? Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, they spent $70 billion on a fucking development house. Like, why? On a fucking publisher. Why would
it's like what Nova is saying is like their messaging just doesn't help. And when you're doing actions like putting your games on other platforms and being third place, naturally you're going to have those type of conversations come up, and unfortunately that is what's going to draw a lot of clicks and people just, you know, repeating that same narrative. So it's
they also talk too much. Like it's like they have both problems. They have both the problem of they say things where it's mixed messaging or very vague, or especially Phil likes to be very choosy with his words, where people will never know exactly what Phil meant because the thing he said last time was a little different. And then there is the thing of they talk too much. Like, you never hear people from PlayStation say shit about anything. You never hear people from Nintendo say shit about anything. But on the Xbox side, there's always someone saying, Sarah Bond's always saying shit. Mikey Barr's not there anymore, but he would always say shit. Aaron Greenberg always is saying something. Phil Spencer is always like, they're always saying something. So it gives people more shit to pick apart. PlayStation and Nintendo don't say shit.
Well, what would you rather have? Like, I mean, it seems like we have two ends of the spectrum here. You got Microsoft that I think might be talking too much, and you got PlayStation and Nintendo who
they don't say they don't say enough.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just getting getting to be irritating after a while.
I'm also tired of all the fucking trust me, bro tweets about shit all the time. It's always constantly, oh, here's this fucking thing. Oh, trust me, bro. And then these quote unquote journalists that'll report on a story with, you know, there's never any definite sources. They like to talk about rumors, and I hate that they do that shit. Because it causes everyone to have conversations like this. Like, no one is ever reporting on, you know, here's the facts. We have statements. We back here. No, it's just they say whatever the fuck they want. It's this. We want clicks. We have clickbait titles. We just want people to come and look at our shit.
But you say clickbait. So my question is, why is that? Why are people fascinated by that? I mean, you say if it's clickbait, then they're doing it because they're trying to generate views. So why is it that people are interested about games that are coming out for the PlayStation or games that might be coming out on
most of the
Nintendo
clickbait stuff. Most of the clickbait stuff is negative, and that's what gets most
right. It's rage bait. It's either negative Xbox articles or usually mostly negative Xbox articles just to rage bait people.
I think I just saw VGC put out an opinion piece talking about Phil Spencer might be the death of Xbox. I was like, what?
Oh, God. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
And the thing is, even if that person believes that, and there are a lot of people, I don't think Phil Spencer's been particularly great for the brand, but still, that's me. Like, why are you writing opinion pieces? Like, nobody gives a shit about what you think, guy.
And see, that's the point. That's like, it's always fucking doom and gloom. It's like that's the only thing they feel that they need to talk about when it comes to Xbox.
That's what's getting the clicks.
Right. That's what dude, that's not just gaming. That's everything.
No, that's everything.
Tragedy sells. Bad news.
Okay, but then why isn't there any doom and gloom article? If tragedy sells, make a doom and gloom article about PlayStation. How they
do, dude. The problem is
not nowhere near the level.
They don't. Dude.
Not near
they make articles. They make articles about PlayStation has had no games for a year or for 6 months, and that's a good thing. And here's why. Come on,
but I mean, wait. Let me finish.
Right, you got to think about that. That article is rage baiting the same people. Sorry, go ahead, Paul.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna let you finish.
But anyway, I was saying, I'm just kidding.
When they do say negative shit, a lot of it has to do with like The problem is, I think there's actually more Sony fan. I hate to sound like that, but I think there's more vocally active Sony fanboys than there are, because even when Ryan quote left Sony, it was all there was more of them coming out for the excuses of why it was a good thing he was leaving, or it's like, dude, if that would have been Phil, they would have been all over that shit. So
Oh yeah.
No, I mean, you look at it, it's not like, there's not enough information or not enough ammunition on the PlayStation side. I mean, their VR initiative is pretty much dead.
There's a ton of
Yeah. Their VR initiative is pretty much fucking dead. They don't have an idea as to what to do with the portable space. Their sales they themselves are complaining about the sales and stuff like that. It just seems like, okay, you got this ammunition. You can write these legitimate articles, but then when it comes to Xbox, these guys ain't saying shit, and then you still keep coming
it's a constant. I'm pretty, like, last generation, a lot of people are saying, like, either the coverage on Xbox was low, they were negative about it, and that's why you see later in the generation more Xbox channels or more, was XCast kind of funny, whoever started to have like their own Xbox focused channels because they saw that the brand was gaining traction. So it's just a constant that's been happening since the Xbox One generation, and with PlayStation, sure, they could talk about how Sony and all their brilliance decided to finally put the PSVR support on PC, or how they had the Insomniac leak. And just to talk real quick, what was it, Greg Miller? It's like we don't talk about leaks. When they had the Insomniac leak, and he was like, we don't talk about leaks, and then I think it was him or someone else was like, Microsoft had something leaked, and they're all over that stuff. So it's one's in third place, one's in first place, or second.
To be fair, the difference was one had personal information. That was their reasoning. They said it was because there was personal information of employees and shit that they didn't want to cover it.
I mean, like
it's whatever, but
I mean, that's because I mean, you don't have to give out somebody's name. You just say this game was leaked, and what you decide to speak on from the leak. Yeah, I understand, but I don't want. Yeah, the best I can say is like it's kind of just an excuse because you don't have to leak their personal information, but you could say still regards to the game.
I mean,
but
they said that, but they still covered the leak anyway. So I don't understand why they even fucking had to say that to begin with. Because not like they didn't cover the information in the leak. They did. They just didn't show any like the videos or screenshots or anything. But they totally covered the info.
Cozy,
so, like,
you're back, by the way.
She's been here, bro.
Shit, she's been quiet as fuck. The damn parakeet went down her throat or some shit like that.
Playing Starfield for the 6th time.
Cozy, please tell us, are you going to get Stellar Blade or not?
Yes, we want to know. Inquiring minds want to know.
Things.
Yeah, she can't back.
So, but just to bring it back in, I mean, again, it's just what drives clicks. It's like how IGN said, no, we accidentally left out Xbox when we were talking about this game is coming to the platform. They do it again and they do it again. I was like,
it seems like every week you're going from Xbox. The Xbox user base is going from one fucking tragedy to another fucking tragedy to another fucking tragedy, and it's like every Monday, you look on your website and you look on Twitter, what fucking tragedy is Xbox gonna have this week? Like what fucking dumpster fires are gonna be something that, it's just, oh my god, it just doesn't make any fucking sense. It's just annoying after a while.
Only thing I can say is just stop interacting after a while.
No, I'm not interacting. It just, it's just like you start looking for stuff and you're like, fucking yay, man. Like what? Nobody has talked about Avowed. Nobody has said, okay, well, how deep into the Forgotten Realms do you have to be? What type of mechanics are you going to be using? I mean, nothing. No, nobody gives a fuck. They just want to.
I'll be honest. The more I've seen of Avowed, like the less I'm interested in it. And I was really hyped about it when they first announced it. I don't know why. Just for whatever it is about it, I was like, I'm gonna play it, but I don't know. Just for whatever reason, I'm less interested in it.
Well, I mean that's fine, but at least talk about the fucking game.
Dude, I've it's not just me. We've all said multiple times that Xbox's marketing, like. They need to be replaced or fucking reinvigorated or something. Like they have fucking more money than fucking God, but they're not doing anything when it comes to marketing. Like, but PlayStation fucking wraps the entire fucking subway train and fucking Spider-Man shit inside and out. Like, it's nice that you did the fucking Sphere in Vegas for a couple things, but like other than that, like you don't really see. I never see commercials for their games really. I don't see any advertisers. I don't see any interesting type of marketing pushes for their games, and it's like, why not?
Yeah, but that doesn't justify them every week being sort of like somebody in the press, talking about the demise of Xbox, and I'm like, yeah. I mean, if they want to be quiet about it, that's fine. But still, Nintendo is fucking quiet about their games, and
more so than usual. It seems to be pretty much the topic du jour nowadays. Even among,
Yeah.
It's like,
I think what kind of bugs me is that how people will take the news. Like I don't know the guy's name, but how he said a dev was speaking about what's the point?
Christopher Dring.
Yeah.
I'm gonna butcher his name every time I try to say it, but how he was speaking about a
Just
dev.
call him asshole. It works.
Christopher said a game is gonna developers deciding whether to put the games on Xbox or not, and people took that and like expanded upon it, like multiple devs are saying that in the whole European market now they're thinking about leaving it to Europe. I'm like, people are quick to cling it in, like expand upon it off of very little information.
Yeah, and it's
yeah, and then they don't tell you that that developer is making a fucking bejeweled clone for the Apple Watch. Like,
that's like when they had the quote developer come out and talk about the ability of the Series S. Turned out it was a graphic designer who.
So all of these quote unquote journalists love to conveniently leave out the context for all of the stories because the context makes the story less sexy.
Right.
Yes.
Well, I mean, RPG 88 says the more the skirt opens on a Vow, the less attractive it looks. I don't know. I've seen some open skirts, and every time they've opened a skirt, I'm happy to see whatever they're willing to show me. I don't care how old.
Yeah, you haven't been to Thailand.
No, I have. I've seen that too. So
this is you were talking about. I forgot.
Exactly, Thailand, and then I went to Cambodia too. I saw more in Cambodia than in Thailand. So there you go.
I am tired of these damn wolves coming out of nowhere when I find a major boss. The boss knocks me over, and these things just start nibbling at my damn ankles.
All right, so let me get everyone out of here so they can go back to Dragon's Dogma. Cerebral, tell us where we can find you, sir.
You can find me in Dragon's Dogma. You can look for my pawn if you're a friend of mine on Xbox. He's pretty cool.
I'll do it fine.
Fuck it. I saw yours. Yours kind of sucks. No kidding.
Yeah.
He told you to keep your pawn at the beginning of the stream. He's like, keep your fucking pawn. I don't want it.
I'm gonna downvote the shit out of your pawn, asshole. Let's see what happens.
Like fucking Uber, you give people's pawn a fucking 2-star rating.
So on that note, I'm actually going to add this on there. You can find me on Xbox at CerebralPaul921. You can find me on Twitter at CerebralPaul1. You can find me on Twitch at Cerebral Paul. You can find me on Mondays and Thursdays on 4GQTV. Mondays for the Pop-Up Powerbomb podcast. Thursdays for 4GQTV. Whenever Carlo decides he's actually going to be at home and not flaunting around the country. And then on Wednesdays, on Tuesdays, you can also find me on the Xbox Ambassador channel, Gaming Differently with Cerebral Paul, 12:30 p.m. Pacific, 3:30 p.m. Eastern, and Tuesday nights with the Retro Renegades. And on Fridays, you can find me here, Wasted with Wize.
Cool.
Saturday, you can find me catching my breath from saying all that shit.
Goddamn right.
No, I think next year, we should go to PAX East. I mean, I'll see if I can get everyone some cheap tickets.
But I mean, I can get in with press. I just can't afford. Usually, the flight, the room is where I have issue.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We can. Yeah. I can see if I can get like a situation where we can get flights and tickets for Delo, for a very reasonable price. So, and I don't think it should be that expensive.
I know that sometimes teachers have access to stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I get it through NEA. They. I mean, I remember. I know.
I actually used to be a part of that.
Yeah, like in October of last year, when I went to New York, we got tickets for like $75 round trip from Alabama, from Montgomery of all things. So yeah. So pretty good.
Did you have to actually bring your own duct tape? Was it on a Boeing?
No, you had to build your own plane. So Lincoln,
as you got on the plane, they handed you a torque wrench and said,
exactly.
Just in case.
You wouldn't think this is the case, but Lincoln logs are quite aerodynamic.
So here's some bungee cord and a Bible.
Exactly. Bend over and kiss your ass goodbye, basically.
Saran wrap and scotch tape. Good luck. Here's your parachute. Have a good day.
That's right. Your sheet is a flotation device. Your sheet pack is a parachute. Yeah. So.
No, true story. True story, right? So the regional airport that we have here only goes to two cities. They either have a connection flight to Atlanta or they have a connection flight to Dallas Fort Worth, and that's it. Period. Those are the only two flights you got all day long, right?
Right.
And so several years ago, I planned a trip with me and my family, and we had to leave at 5 a.m. in the morning in order to catch the connecting flight from Atlanta at 8:30, right? So we go to the airport, our regional airport here, and I look outside, and I kid you not, it was one of those fucking propeller planes. You know, those big ass propeller planes, you know?
I've been on a turbojet before. I love that.
I'm like, what the fuck is that? And then we're waiting. Finally, some guy comes on the intercom, and I don't think it's the guy, it's the ticketing agent. I think it's just some dude. Like, I think the guy, one of the baggage handlers should say this. He said, yeah, this flight is canceled because the air hostess quit. I can't. I'm like, what the fuck? I go to the guy. I'm like, you're kidding me. You're canceling it because the air hostess quit. He's like, yeah. I said, do you have a pilot? He's like, yeah. Co-pilot? Yeah. Fucking A, I'll put on a goddamn apron and serve the goddamn peas. Get this thing up in the air, you know? So fucking A.
I rode a puddle jumper from Memphis to Joplin, Missouri once, and the air hostess, she could literally sit in the front seat and go, okay, you in the back, you want a soda? And just
that's exactly, yeah.
That bitch. You know, it's like, there you go. Yeah.
And I mean, like,
fucking Joe Montana's that shit to you, fuking.
Didn't even have to Joe Montana. Pop order quarterback.
Underhanded, huh? It's a lateral. Yeah.
No, I mean, it's just stupid down here, though. Super, tell us where we can find you, sir.
On YouTube at Supernova Gaming, whenever I make videos, which lately isn't very often. I think tomorrow we're doing a roundtable podcast on King Thrash's channel, I think. And here every Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern.
Cool beans.
Oh, and then on Twitter at Yo It's Nova, my third account.
Well, your Supernova one, I can still send you messages on that for some reason.
I can't even access it. It's the way that they do shit. Like you just don't get access anymore. Or you can get into it and you can see shit. Like whenever they suspend your account, you can still see things. And I could see if I could still be in the chat and see everything you guys write. I just can't write back. I can't respond. I can also see everything in the timeline, the tweets. I just can't generate tweets. So it's like, hey, you can look, but you can't touch.
So basically they're shaking the carrot in front of you and saying, aha, see what the fuck we did to you, basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
No, fuck him. Fuck them. There's a fucking ass backwards shit going on. Praxis, tell us where we can find you, sir.
Well, currently you can find me here up until this time at night. I'm going to probably have to start getting off a little bit early because I've got a little invitation from K-Mega. So I might be joining his podcast on Fridays as well.
What time?
It's 7 o'clock.
What?
What? No.
What?
No.
Right about now, right?
What? It would start right now. But I'm not doing it right now.
7 o'clock. Okay, 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock is.
Oh, okay, Mega's time. Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's what I say.
I thought he was fucking just Rick James.
I mean, we wouldn't have done with the intros by the time he had to leave. If it was
That's what I'm saying. Shit.
No, it's 7 o'clock my time. Sorry, guys.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to reach out to K-Mega actually to get him on the podcast, but I've just not been successful.
I might have it in now.
Well, you know, when you're talking to him next, let him ask him if he'd be willing to come on. You know,
I'll hit him up. I'll hit him up about that. Yeah.
Cool.
But I believe that'll be starting next week. So I'm beyond here, and then at 7 o'clock Mountain Time, I'll be starting on their podcast, and we'll see how it goes. X-Man is kind of. He got a new job, so he's not sure if he's going to be able to keep going. So I'm kind of taking over for him a little bit. So we'll see how it goes.
Cool.
Yeah. And then,
Triple, tell us where we can find you, or are you also going to K-Mega's show?
Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. Whenever I put something out, Triple Combo Gaming. That's it. Yeah.
Cozy,
Keep
who
that
sounds
simple.
like she's actually at K Mega show tonight.
What the,
Now, what the fuck was that?
what the
He doesn't.
Sound like a fucking
Just-
doggy boy.
It's like when I watch those, was it Scream and Disappear video compilations? That's what she sounded like, the Scream and Vanish.
So, are you buying Stellar Blade?
No.
Okay, we wanted to know.
Yeah, like we knew that
You
was.
left us on
This
a
is
killing.
that game that appeals to the male fantasy. Was that video that people meme about?
I don't know, but yeah.
All right, Cozy, do you want to have the last word?
Wait, where's Loke?
Loke is here, but I mean, you did such a good job. Loke, she was.
Yeah.
You want to go ahead and give her the reins for this one?
No, Loke.
She's been reading your scripts, man.
No. Loke, you do it. You got to do it.
No. Ladies first. Go ahead.
Please.
Jeez. All right. Well,
All right,
you
so
can
let me
find-
come back. Let me come back for 1 second. Cozy, tell us where we can find you.
In places with Cozy Beluga for GQ TV on Thursdays.
Bullshitting.
Hello.
Yes. I'm sorry.
She's busy, man.
She always forgets about this shit. you
The
know?
bean can wait. God damn it.
The bean or the vibrator can wait. We wanted to
And
do.
there you can find
What?
her.
Is it that? Is it a new vibrator or is it something that you know is tried and true? That's all I gotta say.
You're distracting me.
Tell us where we can find you. God damn it.
Man, she's flicking
Okay.
the night away. Just go to Loke.
Yes, Loke.
Yes, we're good.
Yeah, you can find her wherever Loke is. Okay, so Loke, you got the last word.
Please, Loke, help us. Help us, Loke.
Made the man full screen.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be a bit selfish. I'm not going to talk about video games this week.
Right on.
We just did our 100th episode of Bullsitting on TSWS Gaming. Make sure to come and watch us. So here's our schedule. On Sundays, you can watch me doing my gaming log. It's a podcast where I usually just decompress from the week's news and happenings in gaming at 2100 hours Central African time. Figure that out if you're not African. Tough hits. Mondays are for the crossover at 2:30 Eastern. Ham and K Mega chop it up, talking mostly about Xbox. Tuesdays, me and Ham duke it out in a quickfire discussion centering on video game news on the lowdown at 5 p.m. Eastern. Wednesdays, we're off on TSWS Gaming, but Ham does feature on Matt Likes Games channel for the two-player podcast at 2 p.m. Eastern. Thursdays are headlined by Behind Them Sticks at 8 p.m. Eastern, where Ham Solo introduces people in and around gaming that you may or may not know and tries to bring people together in a positive manner. Fridays is the big hangout we've coined as Bullsitting, featuring Cozy Beluga, Matt Likes Games, Ham Solo, myself, Mental 9R, and a special guest or two to discuss the week's big gaming happenings. We're not handing out gaming vouchers anymore. We will do it soon in the future, but for now, we're not doing that. And also, check out Bullsitting to see what Cozy Beluga will eat or drink on a live stream, 4 p.m. Eastern. Thank you very much.
That sounds dirty, but okay.
But you didn't finish it up. Where was it after your show? There's.
God damn it! Right after Bullsitting,
I swear to
you
you,
can
God, you
find
know, you're a
me-
small man. People forget about you. No, that's what
you
I'm saying.
can find me
You're
on
not a small man there, Toby.
on Wise Old Gamers podcast, having fun, shooting the shit, and losing my crap on
Sober with
Sifu.
Wise. Yeah.
On Sifu. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, I Triple. Oh yeah, forgot about you, Triple.
You're-
Triple, tell us where we can find you, sir.
You already got me. I kept it short and sweet. I was
Okay.
like,
He's out of there.
Okay, cool.
It was short. I don't know if it was sweet, but okay.
Yeah. So let me
put
go
a
ahead.
little sugar on it.
I am, as always, the Wise Old Gamer. You can follow me on Twitter, Xbox, PlayStation, and not Nintendo. Wise Old Gamer with a Z. And of course, you can find us here every Friday night at 6 p.m. Eastern. Next week is going to be an interesting week. We have 2 people scheduled. We have Puerto Rock and Pixelbit G. So we don't know if both of them are going to be on at the same time, but we will see what happens and where that pans out. And also,
Paul said he can't make it.
Yeah.
No, his ass is going to be here. Damn it!
Why not? What's
if only to watch the shit show, we will see. We'll have Paul here. So
Paul said he's going to catch
COVID
COVID
the whole damn time, dude.
And of course, we are all next week is also when Cells comes back finally. So she's not gonna, tease us around.
So she says,
time to show it.
Yeah. Well, that's the objective. She's listening, so she will most likely be there. So yes, Cells. So we got you on the record. Please don't make us look like a further ass that than we normally are.
It'll just be you, bro. If she doesn't show, it'll just be you.
Yeah,
that looks like an ass.
Yeah, but I look like an ass anyway, so what difference does it make anymore, right?
That would be hilarious.
Really?
None of us show up there, Wise just sitting there going,
I got dumped. So
for you, babe.
But anyways,
give Wise a little boom box to lift up over his head.
I was gonna give one more shout out. I know everybody that was on the chat. I thank everybody very much. But RPG88, man,
I was actually going to say that.
With us this whole time. I threw a shout out to him, and honestly, we really couldn't do this without support like you, and you've been the strongest supporter. So that's great. Thank you.
RPG88, let us know what hospital we need to call. We'll ask the nurse to change the channel for you.
and seriously, anytime that we could ever get you on, I would love to try to get him on there.
Yeah.
Basically, thank you and go fuck your mother.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, I also do want to say the other people that did stop by, Enate and Enate.
I don't know.
Enate. Of course, Doomsayer, he was on. A couple other people, but I can't pull them up anymore right now. And yeah, Callie was on as well.
Yeah, Callie Rex.
There's another person I think I'm missing, but I don't know.
You're thinking, yeah, Enate, Callie Rex, Doomslayer.
That was it.
And there was another person too, so I don't know.
StreamYard.
Anyhow, so yeah. Remember, guys, you could be anywhere, but you've not been anywhere until you've first been wasted with Wize. See you guys next week.
Bye. Arrivederci. Sayonara. So long.